All righty. Yeah, we're a little early today. Little 10:54 action. Sometimes, we go on whenever the hell we want to go on, damn it. That's just the way it goes here on this program. Sometimes you come on a little late, very few times. And sometimes you come on a little early. You know what I'm saying? As long as you don't do it with her, you're all right,
Tomorrow will be
timing
late.
is everything.
Tomorrow will be late.
Yes, VSS West Pines, yes. Yes. Tomorrow will be noon. Every day is normally 11 a.m., but when during this pandemic, it's noon. Once the pandemic's over, we'll be back to 11 a.m., but because their times have changed, we kind of adjusted, of course, to our amazing sponsors. And so tomorrow is only the only day that we do actually at noon. So when we're at VSS West Pine. So I hope all of you out there are doing well. Hope you're feeling good on a beautiful Tuesday as we work our way to the weekend. It's one of those where I don't know, what do we work our way towards, right? I mean, this pandemic thing has taken us completely out of whack. Think about it. Your weekends aren't your weekends because you really aren't like out doing things normally. So you're not really working for the weekend, as a Loverboy would say. And listen, and then the kids. Think about being a kid nowadays. Okay? I feel terrible. I mean, Bill, you and I terrorized Hialeah High our senior year. I mean, we had a blast. It was like a party every single day. Can you imagine if they took that away from you?
You're wrong. We actually started our junior year
I'm saying,
when we got our fake IDs and we were running amok.
Well, I mean, sophomore, too. I mean, that's not,
True, but we weren't to the level.
Yeah, no, of course, no. But school in general was always out of control for me anyway, so I was always partying. But
every day was a new and exciting adventure.
But your senior year, like, I feel terrible for these kids. They're not enjoying their senior year, dude. They don't get to do the things that I mean, I know that high school is not like it used to be back in our day. I get all of that. Which
you can't leave campus for lunch.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Wow, which is terrible, but whatever. And I get it. In today's world, we didn't have the kind of incidents that they have nowadays. So I kind of get it. And kids are like, I don't know, it's like they're extremely stupid nowadays, some of the things that they do. But our lives have changed. Like, these kids can't have a regular senior year. They don't enjoy their weekends like they normally would. None of us do. It's like, it's really, I don't even know, because I was just saying, all right, we're working our way to the weekend. Well, what is the weekend? I'm basically doing on Monday the same things I do on Saturdays or Sundays. There's no difference, actually, in anything going on from one day to another, right? I mean, that's kind of the twisted part about all of this, that it's a different world nowadays, man. It really is. And I can't wait till we get back to normal again. Even though the next normal is not going to be normal anymore. It's like after 9/11, traveling completely changed after 9/11. This is going to obviously alter our lives, and we're going to run our lives a lot different because of this. And you live, you learn, right? That's how they say it. So a lot of things to talk about today on the program. I got a bunch of football stuff. I got some basketball, baseball. I mean, all kinds of music. Got a couple of really interesting music tidbits that I want to talk about a little bit on the show. Also, sporting-wise, there's an element that I talked about a couple of weeks ago, and it reared its ugly head on Saturday night. And so we'll get to that also here on the program. So we got a bunch of things. Remember, you can always chime in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, which you see it right under there, 786-322-1105. Of course, you can reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show, our YouTube chat board, the super chat, so many different ways to connect with us. I already see Gus, Bob Whitmer, Matthew Walker, Troy Ortiz already chiming in on the chat board. Appreciate all of you out there as always. Yeah, we went a little early today, just a couple of minutes. And I just said, I go to Bill, what the hell? We went over 2 o'clock yesterday by, 36 minutes, right? Or something like that?
Yeah, you were well.
Yeah, so what the hell? I said, we were going to do 3 hours. I did 3 hours and 36 minutes yesterday. So if we start a little early, what's the difference? Either way, we'll get to where we're going to go.
That's why if you subscribe, you get that notification.
Yes.
Know.
Yes, that's right. You subscribe, you will get the heads up on all of this. So we've got the Dolphins, obviously, a little small news. I mean, it happened yesterday. Tua signed his 4-year deal. That's not really anything out of this world. I don't worry about these kind of contracts and all of that. They're all slotted. They're all set up. There's really not much to negotiate anymore. So I didn't expect a holdout or anything like that. That's when it would have been news. If he doesn't sign a deal a couple of weeks from now, is when we start saying, well, what the hell is going on? Then we've got news. But signing your rookie deal is not really a big thing. But the interesting part is the jersey sales, on how his jersey, white and aqua, are the top-selling jerseys overall in the NFL. And right now, this is how it ranks. Tua is the number one jersey in the NFL at this point. Tom Brady is number 2. Gronkowski is number 3. So a lot of people are buying up the Bucks, Brady Gronk jerseys, obviously. And, of course, more people are buying the Tua jerseys. I would like to get an Alka one for myself. There's no doubt I definitely will end up getting one. So Joe Burrow, the number 1 pick in the draft, is at number 4 in jersey sales. Justin Herbert for the Chargers is number 5. CeeDee Lamb for the Dallas Cowboys is 6. Jerry Jeudy, 7. Chase Young, 8. Henry Ruggs III, 9. Jalen Hurts is number 10. Interesting. Jalen Hurts jerseys are selling a lot for Eagles fans. And I know some of them, the Eagles fan is kind of twisted because, a lot of them wanted Nick Foles over him, which is stupid because he's way better. But the other side of that is Wentz has been so injury prone and injured at the wrong times that it's turned off some fans, and that's probably why the Jalen Hurts jersey is selling. You know who's number 11? I was going to only write in the top 10, but I just want to put number 11, Jordan Love. Jordan Love's getting bought up a lot in the Green Bay area, apparently, or Packers fans worldwide. And Chase Claypool, by the way, rounding out the top 12 for the Pittsburgh Steelers there. So, it's interesting to see the Tua jersey obviously at the top. But if you look at them overall, it's all the rookies pretty much, except for Brady and Gronk, because they made the switch over to the Bucks. And obviously Bucks fans are, they're thinking Super Bowl right now. I mean, that's really what they should be thinking is Super Bowl. I mean, that's a legitimate, what's it called? A legitimate prediction or feeling in Tampa Bay once you get Brady. And the way that team played, they were a top 10 defense in the back half of the year. And they went 7-9 with a guy that threw 30 interceptions. So you figure if you get a guy that's going to throw 7 or 8 interceptions the entire season, Brady, you're going to cut down the interceptions 20 plus. That should help you out in the win column quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? So interesting stuff that, Tua gets his money, but the NFL is getting their money already. The kid is paying off because he's selling jerseys. But it's kind of cool how you see all the young guys at the top of this list, except for, of course, the 2 veterans that switched over, and they were the big news. But good stuff there. How many of you out there bought a Tua jersey yet? Have you bought one? You probably don't have it yet. You know what I mean? But if you do have one, you should tweet it out to us. Put at Big O Show. I'd love to see the Tua jersey. I got to get me an aqua one.
Is it safe to assume that Gronk is maybe hurting Brady? They're like Gronk's sales are keeping Brady from getting all of the sales and Brady being number one?
No,
No?
dog, because it's quarterback, bro. It's quarterback.
Okay. I was just thinking about it. It's like there's some people that really, really like Gronk, and they would have brought a Brady jersey, but Gronk's in play. I want a Gronk.
I think they're like me at a concert.
You'll buy two?
They're buying the Brady and the Gronk jersey. Really, seriously. I think those people are buying both jerseys.
You know what? You probably are right. Because if you're a jersey buyer, you buy jerseys.
Nobody's picking anybody over Brady. You know what I mean? If you're a Bucs fan, the number one jersey you got to have is Brady. You know what I mean? The Gronk
that's
one
the guy that's going to lead you to the promised land.
Right, and the Gronk one's for fun. You know what I mean? It's really, the Brady one is the one that means because, come on, we all know.
So game day, you wear your Brady. When you go to a party, you bring your Gronk.
Right, and Gronk is not Gronk anymore. He wasn't Gronk at the end anyway the last couple of years. You saw the play declining. You saw the body coming apart. You know what I mean?
Exactly what you're talking about, man. If I'm Tampa, I'm serious. I keep just get them a little bit involved. It's about you being ready for the playoffs, bro.
Yeah, right.
I don't care about 16 games.
Come on, dude. They brought the guy because he's Brady's boy. And Brady he has two guys that he's never played with. He doesn't know who to count on. He knows that the guys on the outside are absolute freaking Pro Bowl studs. But the guys, although I like Cameron Brate, okay, and OJ still hasn't really crossed that threshold. So I get why they brought that guy in. And it's good, too, because those two guys now get to kind of learn from him a little bit. You know what I mean? So that'll be really good. It's kind of the Warford thing that we talked about with Larry Warford being available from the Saints. And by the way, he's only asking for $7 million. That would be a great guy as a bridge guy. Because some people are thinking of him as a starter. And I think he's a starter for a short time. But he's the guy you use to then get to the young guys, and develop those kind of guys.
I remember one of the points.
That's what Gronk should be, that transition guy for these guys.
Well, I remember we also discussed the fact that the lack of camp, the lack of classroom, and being together, having that guy to fast-track the other receivers of Brady's little idiosyncrasies, it makes sense.
Yeah. That's what's going to happen with Fitz and with Chan Gailey, because those two have played together. Fitz understands what Chan wants to do. So when Chan implements the offense, Fitz is going to be very comfortable with it because he's already played under it and with him. And so that's imperative now in this short offseason, in this short transition, that you have a quarterback on your team that understands the offense and then can pass it on to everybody else. And remember, that team is young around Fitz. So it's good to have two coaches there. One is Chan and the other one is Fitz. And that helps in your transition overall, which, again, is another really good move by Brian Flores in a very tough offseason now for the Miami Dolphins. And having a veteran like that is just so key. I'm trying to hold back my sneeze. Anyway, so good stuff there with the jersey sales, as Tua's the lead dog, but it's interesting to see how all the rookies are getting a lot of love in their jersey sales overall, because everybody talks about Tua, obviously, because that's what we care about. But if you look at the top, the top 20, it's littered all pretty much with rookies and jersey sales. So you want to get in on it's really simple, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, that's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in. I saw where Armando Salguero was writing a story and, talking about the strength of schedule, and his article is, kind of challenging on how strong the Dolphins' schedule is. Can I say something about all of this? Because I've had people reach out to me about this whole thing about the schedule. You guys got to stop with this. It's just ridiculous. It's all mental masturbation, man. None of us know how good or bad teams are going to be from one season to another. You really don't know how tough a schedule is going to be. I mean, Miami stripped down their team to the bone last year. They had no talent left over pretty much. And yet they won 5 games. I'm sure everybody on the schedule thought it was going to be an easy win against the Dolphins. And then they walked away with a loss at times. And they're like, whoa, well, these guys are actually pretty good. And people around the league were, obviously picking against the Dolphins. And they were wrong, especially in the last 9 games where they won more than they lost. Stop playing the schedule game. You don't know how hard or how easy your schedule is. And it's the dumbest thing out there to play the schedule game. One, because I just told you can't predict it. How tough or how good or how bad teams are going to be, or your own team. Okay? I mean, hell, I had the Dolphins at 0 wins, and they got to 5. It's the silliest game that fans play. Because the game you thought might be really difficult in week 9 does not become that difficult because your team's playing really well and their team lost their quarterback. But you can't predict that early in the season, so you have no idea. Playing the schedule game is the silliest thing out there. It's impossible to predict where your team's going to be at any point throughout the season. I mean, think about how we watch the NFL. We watch it from week to week. We react on an entire season from week to week. One week your team plays great and you feel like you're going to the playoffs. The next week they get spanked by 20 points and you think you'll be lucky to get to 500. That's how we are in the NFL season. Our emotions are like a pendulum swinging from one extreme to another every single week. Why? Because it's the NFL. You just don't know what's going to happen. Did anybody predict that the Ravens offense was going to be the juggernaut it was last year? No. But that's just one of those things that you just don't know. You just don't see coming because you can't.
To tack onto that, last year, 2 teams. Look at Dallas and look at New Orleans. The roller coaster rides up and down.
Yeah.
Would you have thought Dallas only wins 8 games?
Oh yeah. Well, Dallas, I can see that because that's kind of who they are. They're kind of notorious for, underachieving. Yeah. Like they do all the freaking time. So for Dallas, yes. It's almost like I kind of expect Dallas to choke, to come up short, to just be all hype. You know what I mean? And I know that they got a pretty damn good team.
On paper, Dallas is as good as anybody in the league. They are
loaded, man. They are loaded.
Who would have thought that Bridgewater would have come in and go 4-1 as a starter?
Right. Those are things that you can't predict. But again, it's just that's why, for me, it's playing the schedule game is the silliest thing out there. Because we just don't know where your team's going to be from one week to another, from 1 month to another. What you saw from the Dolphins in September, did it resemble anything you saw in December? No. Not even close. And to even imagine in September that the Dolphins would actually be a half-decent team, in November and December going 5-4 in their last 9, you would have said, you're crazy, bro. You're on drugs. What's wrong with you? Are you watching them? They've lost by 200 points in the first 2 weeks. Where do you see that? And then that's when I would have played the blind-ass fan alert on you. Right? I mean, if I tell you that they're going to go 5-4 in their last 9 games after week 2, you would have played the blind-ass fan alert on me, which I deserve it. You can't predict any of this stuff. And to go sit there and try to defend it or argue about it, it's ridiculous. And I don't know why people, well, we're going to win this one. We're going to lose that one. We're going to win this one. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely had us beating New England in New England week 17 and knocking them out. You know? That's just crazy stuff, man. I tell you.
With all that said, you still bet the Dolphins better than 6 wins, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because I think they should be better now. You know what I mean? They added a boatload of talent,
Look,
man.
That's what I've been saying to anybody that asks me.
I love what the Dolphins did this offseason, man.
We had nothing, the worst rush defense, no secondary for the last 5 games. We won 5. The talent is such an increase. You got to think they're better than 2 wins more.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. By the way, I love the pride that some of you take for this show. Okay? You know, that's something that Bill and I are supposed to do every day working here, and we are prideful of what we're doing, and we're happy because it's growing every single day. But I see NorCal, and he goes, almost 60 listening, which I think it's now 86, and only 6 likes, which it's really up to 14 now. But he goes, that seems impossible. Let's all like and share. San Francisco Bay Area, locked and loaded. Thanks, Big O, Bill, and Big O Show crew. Fins for life. Puff, puff, give. And by the way, I hope all of you give us the likes, and I appreciate all of you that are watching. But I love that. I love the pride that a lot of you take on the show. You're a part of it, and it's fun to be able to go back and forth with you guys every single day. Mike Pellegrino says, wrong O. All right, Mike, I don't know what I'm wrong about, but, you know, who knows? What can I tell you, my brother? At least I'm consistent.
Mike, how's Mars doing?
Yes. William says, if Tua's healthy and gives us the best chance to win, then he should start. The NFL doesn't care if you hold out a year to get ready. That bad hit can come anytime. Yeah, that bad hit can come anytime, but it's easier to get injured if you're not healthy. And, William, do you think that a repaired hip in November is ready to take NFL hits in September? Come on, man. You got to be also, you know, I get it. You live in a microwave society. You know, you don't really listen to any logic. You just want to put him out there and you don't care. And then when he gets injured, then you'll rip the Dolphins. You got to do everything the right way. There's no hurry. The Dolphins aren't supposed to be a Super Bowl team. It's not like they're locked and loaded for a Super Bowl and their quarterback got injured and that's the only thing that's stopping you from being in the Super Bowl. So you're trying to hurry up and trying to get them healthy so you could get them out on the field and be a Super Bowl contender. Okay? You're not even a playoff contender this year. This year, you get to 7 or 8 wins. That would be a phenomenal season, and that would be headed in the right direction, building off the 5 wins. There's no hurry. That's the problem with some of you out there. You want to rush this process. Like it's like you have to rush this process, and you don't. Alan says you need to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and sacrifice a virgin to YouTube every day if you want YouTube notifications. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate you. Alexa chiming in. Good morning, Alexa. Good morning, Richard McLean. Does Fitz have jerseys for sale too? Yes, he does. Go to the I'm sure if you call the Dolphin Pro Shop, they probably have a Fitz jersey for sale. Matthew Walker says, I'm no longer getting jerseys. Every player I get eventually leaves the team. Logo apparel from here on out. I don't think Tua's going to be leaving, bro. You know what I'm saying? Super Boom Shack is chiming in, saying, lips like sugar, bring on the dancing horses. Yes, sir. A little Echo and the Bunnymen. Bring on the dancing horses, wherever they may roam. All right, Josh is saying, good morning. Roberto Gonzalez saying, Big O, should the Dolphins trade or sign a starting safety? Well, where are they, Robert? Who is it? You know, I mean, if you're going to say who's available, who's the starting safety, and what are you talking about, Robert? Free or strong? You sure they don't have any candidates in the house right now? It's very vague. Should they sign a safety? Okay, who's offering a starting safety at this point in time right now? Who's offering a starting safety, Robert? You tell me, my brother. I mean, if you're going to just throw it out there, right? You must know something that we don't. So, who is the starting safety available? I need to know. Help me out with that one. Josh says Falcons are in talk with the Bills and Dolphins to joint practices. Okay. Now, those joints, are you using flour? Are you using oil? You dabbing? Those joints, what are we doing here? Or are they going to be joints? I'm just wondering. Just wondering. Richard McLean says, Big O, can a head coach be successful with a below-average coaching staff? I notice Flores is quick to dismiss coaches. Well, maybe he wants to get better coaches? Just like he does with players? You're no good. I can't win with you. You're out. We'll cut you. We'll bring in another guy. That's what I love about Flores. Flores doesn't F around, bro. Have you noticed that? Flores does not F around. I happen to think that is awesome. Okay? Ricky Perez chiming in on the super chat. Love it. Thank you, Ricky Perez. Very nice of you, my man. Chiming in. Big O, you guys are killing it. Thanks for doing what you do. Go Dolphins. Appreciate you. William Fonticella also chiming in on the super chat. Thank you, William. That is strong on your part, sir. I think that's what they call a sticker. Is that what you did there? Is it a sticker because it says keep it up and it's got like a little icon? Those things are cool, those stickers. I like that. What do we have here? Big O, I feel like Tua will kill it in the preseason and training camp and outplay Fitz and Rose and giving Flores no choice but to play him. Again, bro, it's all about the hip. All about the hip. And the other thing, Mike, Kid, Jay, are you taking into account the offensive line? Is the offensive line playing well? Because it's really hard to kill it without the offensive line. So, you're asking now. See, this is where the fan in some people comes out. Because now you're asking that in a short offseason that Tua is still rehabbing and a short preseason and a short training camp, everything's abbreviated. You expect Tua to overcome all of that and the 5 linemen, several of them rookies, and then you want them all playing well and in week 1. Think about that. Just let that all just, like it's a rotisserie, Just let it marinate right in your brain. How does that really sound? Does that sound really logical? That Tua's just going to really just overcome all of this and all 5 linemen. And Jackson's going to play perfect, right? And then you're going to find your guards and they're all going to settle in and you're going to have your right tackle all settled, everything by week 1. Think about that. Imagine that. Is that really logical? Is it possible? Yeah. Yeah, it's like, it's like 0.5% or something that it could happen. But there's a good chance that by week 1, you still don't have your offensive line settled. Robert Hunt may not be comfortable at right tackle yet. Your right guard may not be, consistent right now. You might still have an open battle at left guard. I mean, these kind of things could happen in week 1. You don't have a lot of playing time. You don't have a lot of preseason. You don't have a lot of training camp. That's going to limit you, ladies and gentlemen. And when you don't have a lot of experience, that's also pretty bad. So that's why I tell you that when you start throwing stuff like that out there, I want you to really think about the process. And over the years, how rare that would be that a rookie quarterback and 4 of your 5 linemen are brand new and you're going to figure it out all of a sudden.
That new collective bargaining agreement also eliminated time and pads,
Everything.
contact practice time. Yeah.
Everything.
So
Everything. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. What makes sense is to start Fitzpatrick early on. So Tua can look at what's going on, and Tua can see the defenses, and Tua can then communicate with Fitz down, series after series, practice after practice, quarter after quarter, halftime after halftime, and kind of adjust to all of this stuff. But you'd be doing a disservice to Tua by throwing him out there when he's not ready, they're not ready, and then now all you do is create chaos and possibly more injuries. You got to be deliberate about this, okay? We just went through a year of resetting the team. You're not going to reset and then go to the Super Bowl the second year as much as we all would like. You got to give it some time. Richard says, Big O, if things go well for the Dolphins, I think they can win 10 games. Remember, Gates is a team that won 10 games, and I don't think they were that talented. Gates?
I think he means Gase.
Oh, Gase. Okay, yeah, but that team had way more experience, my man. This is a really young team. This is the youngest team in the NFL. It's hard, man. It's hard. Look, I won't put 9 games out of reach because of this division, and I think Miami can surprise a lot of people in this division, but it's going to be really hard to even get to 9. I'm hoping 7 or 8. 10, that would be a lot.
If I'm not mistaken, that year we did win 10 and get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Every time we played a winning team, didn't we lose?
They got their asses kicked.
It was a schedule.
Yeah, it was a schedule fluke.
Yeah.
Like every time they've made the playoffs in the 2000s. It was all flukish. It has nothing to do with substance. But they had some experience on that team, and they don't have nearly that much experience on this team. So as much as I would love it, I mean, listen, they freaked me out last year by winning 5. That was amazing. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, that's 786-322-1105. The other way to reach out to us is on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Of course, you can reach out to us on YouTube there. We got the Super Chat going on. A lot of things going on here on the program. We also want to remind you that Toyota of Hollywood is a proud sponsor. Get on down there. Go see Steve Ostrov and all the great people out there, man. Herbie Lopez, Gary Thompson, Rick, Eddie, Joel Rubio. I mean, all these guys out there, they are ready to take care of you. Make sure you tell them that Big O sent you. They are the #1 volume Toyota dealership in the Southeast United States now, 6 years in a row, over 1,500 cars and trucks, over 400,000 square feet, state of the art. You can even order online or on the phone, man. They'll deliver it right to your home, and they're giving you 90 days, no payments, whether you buy or lease. That gives you a little time here during this transition time because of COVID. So get on down to 1841 North State Road 7, just a couple blocks south of that big, beautiful guitar. Yes, on the turnpike. It is Toyota of Hollywood.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be. In other words, don't by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com. a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. .com.
Buyers Market 2020 Corolla, not 22,013 775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with zero down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Welcome back. If you guys want to get in, it's 782-1105 on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. Support. Doug and Victoria, by the way. There it is. It's out there and supporters. Doug and Victoria gave that Rush lunchbox, which is a beautiful thing. So we sport it every day here on the show. Always sporting some of the gifts out there. John is watching and listening. He says, I'm an 80s baby that missed all the Dolphin glory days. Was Bill Arnsberger to Shula what Buddy Ryan was to Ditka? Yes. Yes.
Perfect analogy.
Yep. Dolphin defense to ever be the same once he until we got Jimmy. And then Jimmy drafted one hell of a defense with those guys. Yes, you are correct, sir. No doubt. 100%, John. Big O, do you think Charles Harris is salvageable? He still can't seem to get any pressure up front. Hold on. Okay. Realistically, this year, good roster, very tough schedule. Matt McAfee in Ohio. Or Mahaffey. It's Mahaffey, right? Matt Mahaffey. Matt Mahaffey says he's going. Matt, I kind of like that too. 7 or 8 is something. I'm not ready yet until I see, how healthy they are when they start the season. But I'm with you. 7 or 8 is pretty. I would be super happy with 7 or 8 wins, man, because then that's 3. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what else. Okay, I'm going to wait till it refreshes. All right, here we go, because they had an old one again. Big O, don't you see this $30 million guarantee for Tua too much? Like 50 or 60. Tua getting drafted, he would have gotten up front a whole bunch of guarantees. It would have been terrible. Really not a lot of money. And today's quarterbacks.
It's flickering, sir.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, so appreciate. It says audio breaking up and it sounds cutting out. Yeah, I guess the internet got a little funky there. Hopefully the audio will get back going again, and we'll. Although it looks like it's Let me see. No, it's back. Okay, it's back.
Like
so
I said, flickers. It's
Yeah.
been a pop. There's been 2 of them.
sorry it flickered. What can I tell you? It's the internet. Nothing is perfect in this world. But anyway, so yeah, I'm with you. I think 7 or 8 would be fantastic overall for the Dolphins. That would be the kind of progress that you need. Big O, you said you're happy your listeners take pride in your show, our show. I'm a daily listener, and it's no doubt the most honest Miami sports talk anywhere. Damn right, we are proud to support your show. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. It's our show, by the way. Our show, okay? I am not one of the – we're not working for corporations anymore that don't care about the listeners and all that stuff. That's not what we're about here. We connect with our listeners, actually. So it's our show here. Dougie Fresh says, since conspiracy theories are everywhere right now, please give us your take about one I have heard for years. Does ESPN really have a problem with the Dolphins? No, not at all. No. They don't have, not at all, man. They don't have any problem with the Dolphins. No. Now, I don't know why you would think that. Look, let me explain something to some of you out there on this. The Dolphins have been a terrible franchise for a long, long time. All right? And they are now been treated like the Bengals and some of these other perennially bad franchises over the years. And we get what we deserve. When we were a marquee team with a marquee coach and a marquee quarterback, they were on primetime all the time. But then when we had Don Shula, our teams were winning 10 games on average every year. They had the best record ever on Monday Night Football, all that kind of stuff. We have to get back to being respectable. We have to get back to being a great football team. We have to get back to having marquee names as the head coach, as the quarterback. When we get back to that point, and Tua will help as long as he stays healthy, of course, but all these kind of factors, we have not had those ingredients. And so that's why we've been treated the way we've been treated for many years. And it's not a Dolphin thing. If you're a sorry team, that's just the way it is, man. That's how you're going to be treated. Unless you're a sorry team in New York, okay, or you're a sorry team in L.A. Well, because those media markets are so enormous, maybe even Chicago to a certain extent too. You know,
You're right. We were at least on 2 or 3 times, and sometimes like, what are we doing on prime time? Really?
Right. You have 2 Monday nights, and so, places like that I can understand because of the media market, the money behind it. Okay, and that's why. And we're not a media market, but when we weren't a media market, since we are now, and we weren't then, we were on prime time as much as anybody. But that's because we were prime time. Because Don Shula makes you prime time. When you got the 72 team, and you got Bob Greasy, and you got the Killer Bees, and you've got Dan Marino, and you got, the Marx Brothers, and that's what makes you prime time, baby. But we don't have any of that anymore. So let's not sit there and think they're picking on us. They're not picking on us, man. It's our own fault. The Heat are considered a marquee team because Pat Riley made them that. If Pat Riley doesn't come here and we're stuck with, Chaffel and Cunningham, we'd still be deadbeats in the NBA. We'd be the Sacramento Kings of the East. But we got Pat Riley and we became marquee. And we are now one of the best. We are one of the franchises that are looked upon as an example for the rest of the NBA. Last time I checked, we used to be that in football. Okay? We used to be that in football. And we're not. So we get what we deserve. You know what I mean? It's we can't act like millennials now. All right? All right, I'm not acting like a millennial, and I'm not pointing fingers and blame somewhere else. It's my fault. It's your fault. It's the Dolphins' fault. It's Steve Ross's fault. That's all. But we're headed now in the back. We're going to get that back now. We're going to get that back over the next couple of years, become a winning franchise, and then they're going to love putting us on Monday night. Because I will argue with you on this. If ESPN is willing to put on the Miami Heat on marquee all the time, and all their reporters are always talking about, yeah, I get to go cover the team in South Beach. Trust me. They want to come here and cover the Miami Dolphins when they're good. Problem is, our Dolphins suck. You know? Cody Douglas chiming in, sir. Thank you on the super chat. That is so kind of you, my friend. I appreciate you. John Rouse is in the house, and he is chiming in on the super chat. And I think he also gave us a sticker because it's giving us a thumbs up. Those things are cool, those stickers. I like those stickers, man. That's pretty cool. I like it. It adds. I mean, it's always good to get in the super chat with, a question that you want or a comment or something like that. But these stickers that come with it, the super stickers, I think they're called, or whatever, that's pretty cool. I like the one you picked, John Rouse, with the thumbs up.
What's up, John?
There you go. ESPN wants ratings and compelling stories. Tua is a compelling story, but they know we are not going to start him. Plus, the product on the field just has been subpar. That's it, baby. That's it. There's no pointing fingers. There's no excuses. It's all on us. But that's turning around, man. Chris Greer and company are going to load this team up. Tua will figure things out, and we'll be rocking, and we'll be on prime time. I am not worried about that whatsoever. Not at all. Tua going through all the adversity, and Miami did too last year, makes too much sense to bounce back. Ian from Brooklyn says, give me a break. He's trying to find himself. LOL. Oh, I don't know. Oh, he's answering to Drewbo there. Let's see. What else do we have here on the chat board? Alex Diaz says, Big O, I know you have gone on record and said you like Van Ginkel and are very high on him. I am the same way about him. What are your realistic statistics on him to take that next step? Oh, man, I'm not going to go to stats. Alex, all I know is I like what I saw from the kid. I don't want to put those kind of expectations and tell you, well, he's got to have 80 tackles this year and 5 sacks. Or I just want, you know what I love more than anything else? Here's what I'm going to tell you. What I love about Andrew Van Ginkel more than anything else, he's got Kyle Van Noy now. Because I'm a true believer in leadership. I'm a true believer that if you have somebody to provide leadership and help mold your players, not just your coaches, you will be a better football team. At QAM, I covered Channing Crowder when he was a player, but I worked with him also on radio. And any of you that have listened to Channing over the years, one of the things you catch him constantly talking about is the influence that Zach Thomas had on him, how he taught him how to prepare for the game and all those kind of things. And that made him a better football player. To me, that's what Kyle Van Noy brings to the table, because Andrew Van Ginkel has his skill set, right? He is the kind of player that Van Noy is. Not that he's going to be Van Noy. I hope he is. I hope he's better than Van Noy. But my point is, physically, the good Lord gave him kind of the same kind of talent as Van Noy. Now, instead of trying to figure all this crap out by himself, he now has a guy that he can watch, learn from, and then he can say, okay, that's how it's done. And to me, that's the priceless stuff. That's great front office and coaching. Again, by the way, because the examples are endless right now. Between Greer and Flores in the last year, I've got so many examples that make so much football sense. It's freaking ridiculous. And this is another one of these that just makes so much freaking sense. We got the Van Ginkel kid. We really like this kid, right? Plus the Strawbridge kid, the Strawbridge, whatever kid, all these kind of guys, they're also going to learn from him. You know what I mean? What's it called? The Weaver kid. All those guys are going to learn from Van Noy. Van Noy might be the most important guy defensively on this football team because of what he brings to the table as a leader, as a mentor, as a teacher. And because you have several dudes on this team that kind of have those skill sets, they're going to get to learn from him. You know what I mean? So to me, that's where all of this comes to a head. And I say, okay, this is where Van Ginkel really benefits. He benefits from having Van Noy there. Curtis Weaver, Jason Stowbridge. Who's the other kid that I was thinking of? Stirk. Bryce Stirk may be a guy because he plays outside linebacker, defensive end that they signed. That might be another kid that also gets to learn. So they have several of those cats that they're going to learn from Van Noy how to play in this defense, what their responsibilities are. Van Noy is so important to what the Dolphins are doing, man. And if I'm any of those young cats, brother, I am behind that guy 1,000%. I'm trying to learn everything about the defense, the game, the NFL from Van Noy. That's how important that guy is. 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, that's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to me on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. I told you a couple of weeks ago about what's going to happen, and if you have that Greg Hardy cut, please, what's going to happen in sports now because of the coronavirus. And one of the things that I told you is we're going to be able to actually hear what's going on the court. The coaches, we're going to be able to hear them call plays. We're going to hear the players dribbling down court calling the offense. In the NFL, I told you, we're going to hear players talking trash. Seriously. Because there's nobody in the stands. So now the mics are going to pick up all the sound. Coaches on the sidelines. And this weekend at UFC 249, we had a little taste of that. Greg Hardy, not the most likable individual in the world, not a person that most of us root for because of obviously his disgusting past with women. Definitely a guy that I root against. There's no doubt in my mind. But Hardy had an interesting soundbite after his victory on Saturday night. I want you to listen to what Hardy was experiencing in the middle of the fight.
All right, I'm here with the winner, Greg Hardy. Greg, you made some adjustments, some big adjustments. Seems like early on in the fight, he was catching you with a lot of those heavy leg kicks. How much did that affect your movement?
Big time, man. And thank God for not having the crowd. Shout out to DC. I heard him tell me to check. I need to figure out how to check it. So I started trying to check him, and game changer.
You have had a wild ride. In 2 years, you've gone from a guy who has his first MMA fight to a guy who's fighting guys like Volkov, who's a world champion in other divisions. What has this been like for you, and how do you feel about this victory?
Like going to Disney World, man. It's been a roller coaster like none other, baby. Only next appropriate stop is the Joe Rogan Show.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you, sir. Look forward to seeing you again. Greg Hardy, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go. Smoke some weed on that Joe Rogan Show. Anyway, now, you heard him in that first half of the soundbite talk about how he heard the announcer talk about, the adjustment that he had to make. And by the way, the one thing that I will say is how his opponent stopped kicking was beyond me, because it looked like it was bothering the crap out of him when he was kicking his leg on a consistent basis. But Hardy, if there was a crowd, he would not be able to hear the people critiquing him as the announcers, saying what he had to do or not had to do, or his corner. So he was able to hear the color guy, say, well, no, Greg needs to do this. And so now fighters in the middle of a fight are going to be able to hear the announcers. And they're going to be able to hear what they're saying, which is unheard of. A boxer, a fighter, they never hear the announcers, ever. Now you're going to hear them all the time. In football, you may not, because they're in a booth and it's probably enclosed, and they probably will keep it closed, actually, so they don't hear them and they can actually talk. And if they want, nat sound from the field or whatever, they'll have a mic outside that they can pot in through the broadcast, and it's not a big deal. But they won't have the window open or anything like that, because then they'll be able to hear the announcers. So in football, you're going to get away with it. In basketball, you will not be able to get away with it. In basketball, the announcers are going to be heard. You know what's going to be interesting? Will any of the announcers be critical? Not the home announcers, because home announcers are never critical of their own players. They can't be. I mean, they work for the team. Who the hell rips their own team when they're getting paid by the team? That doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? So that's not going to happen. But the national broadcasts, how are they going to handle, being critical of a coach or a player? And this weekend you saw the example with Greg Hardy. This is going to be a game changer. Exactly what Greg Hardy called it, a game changer. Because now they're actually going, if they're smart, they're using that advice as a positive, or they're using that constructive criticism as a positive. It's interesting, man, how they're going to be able to, Anthony Jerez says Tony Ferguson has an iron chin. Yeah, dude, but he got his ass kicked, bro. Yeah, he could take a beating, but he took a beating. That's the thing. Okay? Did you guys see the whole Gaethje Conor McGregor deal going on? Oh, doggy. Now that is getting very interesting. Do we have Justin Gaethje's comments? So listen to this. So Conor McGregor is going after Gaethje now, finally. Gaethje's been trying to bait him because, a lot of people, although they think it's Gaethje Habib next, a lot of people want to see Conor McGregor, right? And I'm one of them, okay? And I think I've told you guys this already. I'm the guy rooting for anybody fighting against Conor McGregor. I'm the guy that if it is Gaethje, man, I'm hoping Gaethje, what he did to Tony Ferguson, I hope he does it 10 times over to Conor McGregor, right? So McGregor said, I'm going to effing butcher you. He told Gaethje. He said, your teeth, I'm going to put them in your effing necklace. Okay? He went on an angry Twitter rant. All right? And Gaethje, by the way, sent him a tweet that said, you're a tool. You have lost everything already. You are a crap human. He used the S word. Father and husband, F you. So Conor remembered that tweet and said, speak on my skills as a father and you're effing dead. I have no problem with any of this, and I am convinced more than ever now that Gaethje is just going to murder him in that ring. I think he's just out for that payday when it comes to Conor. Now, I do want to warn you, just in case, if any of you out there have any kids with you right now, we're going to play this Justin Gaethje a soundbite. He's with the TMZ crew talking about it. There's a couple of F-bombs that are dropped.
3 to be exact.
3 of them. We do not beep here on this show, okay? We try not to cuss pretty much. I'll drop an S-bomb every once in a while. This idiot will drop an F-bomb every once in a while.
Sorry.
You know, I may say the S word, and that's about as far as I go. But on sound bites, I don't have to beep anything out. But I am going to warn you ahead of time, because if you are a father or mother and you're listening and your kids are present, this soundbite has 3 F drops in it, okay? All right, so here's Justin Gaethje talking with the TMZ crew about Conor McGregor and facing him.
He keeps texting, or he keeps tweeting he's going to fight. On planet Earth, there's 2 people that will possibly fight him, me or Dustin Poirier. Right. So he either goes away. He's only fought 2 times ever in the lightweight division. In his whole career, he's fought 2 times. He lost 1. He's won 1. He's ranked 3 for some odd reason. He needs to either go away or fight, and it's me or Dustin.
Are you ready to fight him?
Absolutely.
Is the UFC trying to make the fight?
I thought he was retired. I swear to God, I thought he was retired.
Are you crazy? Why are you asking me if you're ready to fight? What's wrong with you?
No, is the UFC,
of course you're ready to fight.
Is Dana and the UFC trying to make the fight, though?
He's scared. The man is scared. The man afraid. The man is sleeping on silk sheets. You understand? He's afraid.
He won't. He'll reply to Dustin on wherever on social media. He will not reply to me. I wrote him a message like fucking 7 months ago, just trying to be his friend. I've tried every route. I'm trying reverse psychology. I'm trying to be his friend.
Really?
I'm trying every fucking route that there is to draw this man out, and I can't draw him out. And he's calling out Frankie Edgar. So it's a slap in the face to me, to all their lightweights, and to really the standard that we fucking do here.
Do you think that the UFC wants to put Conor McGregor in with somebody that they think could beat him?
They don't. They just want the man to fight.
They want him to fight Justin.
Like he's trying to be the best in the world. That's what we're all trying to do. Like, that's if he's not trying. He's made his money. He needs to go away.
38-year-old Frankie Edgar is who he wants. And so Gaethje, I guess, got the, with the father comment, he might have gotten Conor a little pumped up. I swear to you, man, this is one fight I am looking forward to. I can't watch Conor McGregor get his ass kicked enough. You know what I mean? Like the Khabib fight doesn't need to happen again because he has nothing to prove. I mean, he dominated Conor so badly that it's just ridiculous. And so I would love to see Gaethje kick his ass. Because while I would enjoy Khabib kicking his ass again, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't shock me. It's kind of expected. Although it would be fun watching it. I will say that. But Gaethje would be pretty cool to see him kick his ass.
I don't think I'm going out on a limb here saying that McGregor is the one sports person that you hate.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes. Yes.
And he's not even, I don't know if you'd say he's participating. He just kind of runs his mouth, right?
Yeah.
He hasn't done anything.
No, since he got his ass kicked. Well, he fought that deadbeat cowboy, whatever. He fought the tomato can. But that's about it, Anyway, Big O, I would like to see the Nigerian heavyweight put some hands on Hardy. That would be fun. Mark McIntyre says, when the first player just won, test positive, all shuts down again. We're all just killing times. Oop, just bad words. Yes. Yeah, killing time is probably not a good choice of words. I get what you're saying. But yeah, that's what's going to happen here, man. I'm terrified of it myself. And maybe we're coming back too soon. Matthew Walker says, speak on my skills as a father. Yeah, because Conor is such an honorable man. Honor includes tossing dollies into a bus window and punching old men in bars. That's why I don't mind watching Conor get his ass kicked. I mean, badly. I want it kicked badly. Big O, did you see the Violent Femmes open up for Echo a couple of years ago? Yes, I did, actually. I saw him in Atlanta. That's where I got this shirt. I was there for the SEC Media Days last year, and I went to an amphitheater, a really old amphitheater in Atlanta. I forgot the name of it, but it's one that everybody knows in Atlanta. Okay, I don't know the name, but everybody knows that amphitheater in Atlanta with all the hills and all that, and so I went and I saw Echo and I saw Violent Femmes. It's a great concert, man. It's a freaking great concert, man.
Nobody has mentioned Never Stop, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Never Stop.
I've only mentioned a couple of songs, but yeah. Let's see. A must-watch PPV. Yeah. Oh, there's no doubt. Big O. So is lingerie football going to be played this year? That Richard, you have got your priorities straight, my brother. That's why I like you. I hope they keep it. I'm a big fan of the lingerie league. I watch it every week. Pat in Nashville says, my brother just made a good point. With no crowds, Atlanta will have the loudest stadium in the NFL this season. Huh? With no crowd, Atlanta will have the loudest stadium in the NFL this season.
Because it's enclosed, I guess.
Yeah, but there's lots of domes. I don't get it. What does that mean, Pat? I'm sorry. I missed the joke. If you have no crowd and nobody has a crowd in a dome, and there's several domes in the NFL, why would Atlanta's dome be louder than another dome with no crowd? You're screwing me up here, Pat. You know something that I don't know, and you've got me like befuddled here. What the hell was that? You got to help me out with that. Thomas Cook says, good morning from Thomas and Andy. Have a great show. Thank you, sir. Thank you out there. Appreciate it. We will have a great show because you guys are tuning in and supporting every single day here on the program. Anyway, you want to get in on the show? It's 786-322-1105. Oh, Pat in Nashville says they used to pump in noise. I got you now. Okay. But a lot of people do that. You know that? Atlanta's not the only one. There have been other stadiums that have been known to pump in sound. Now, they won't be able to do that this time because there's no way you can control that. You know what I'm saying?
The NFL will be like, where the hell is that sound coming from?
Yeah, you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. But I keep saying, I know it would cost a little money, but I keep saying you just put screens on each seat and the season ticket holders get to sit in their seat at home and cheer on the team. And then every seat has a speaker, whatever, and then you got fans in the stands.
I got one.
Kind of.
They have records of decibels reached at stadiums. Everybody wants to have that. I'm sure they got records of it. Go back the last 4 or 5, whatever number of years, go back. What is the average that you hit decibel sound? And that's what you're allowed to produce over the PA.
Okay.
That way it's based on your past performance, your fans' past performance. That's what you're able to do.
So we're screwed as the Marlins. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. Shelly Mookinsane. Is it Mookinsane? That is an interesting last name. Almost as interesting as Alzagari. Mookinsane. She says, give a shout out to Nanoman. Who is Nanoman? Shelly, who is Nanoman? Explain to us who is Nanoman and why did you want me to give a shout out to Nanoman? That's what I want to know. Richard says, is the Publix guy affiliated with UFC? The Publix guy? Huh?
That's got to be from Friday. The guy that went off at the South Beach Publix.
Oh, okay, that guy. Okay, all right. That's good. Good job by you.
You know what, man? Has anybody called that guy out yet on social media?
I don't know. You know what? I don't know if they have or not. I haven't kept up with it. Have they? Has that? I don't even know if they.
Those Charlottesville folks got called out.
On Friday, people were throwing out some names, but I didn't really know if that was real or not. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Adam W. says, sorry, Big O, disagree. The schedule game is fun, and that's what it's all about. Okay, you can have fun with it. You can also have fun playing with yourself, but that doesn't mean it's actually productive. You know what I'm saying? So knock yourself out, Adam. If you want, you can have fun. Play with yourself and play with the schedule. But to me, it's kind of like playing with yourself. Howdy, Big O. It would be cheesy if all the stadiums would have artificial crowd noise when the games are going on. That's right. That's why I say season ticket holders, they all have their own seat with the screen and then a speaker that comes out of it, and then everybody's making noise from their house. And it comes out through the speakers. That's it.
Who's paying for the screen and the speaker?
The NFL's got plenty of money.
Cough it up. They're going to eat up their profits like that?
Cough it up, NFL. Stop being pigs. All you're doing is printing money left and right. Give me a break. Mob Notch Film says Big O Jesse Davis is trash. He's a serviceable backup is what he is. That's what he is. They're not paying him like a starter, bro. You know, when it's all said and done, do you think the Dolphins look at Jesse Davis as a starter? Or do you think the Dolphins look at Jesse Davis and say, this is a good guy to keep around because he's a good utility backup? And that's why they're keeping him around. And that's why they're paying him like a utility backup. They're not paying him like a starting tackle. So, you're overreacting and you're worried. In the end, I think what they envision Jesse Davis is being the guy that is like the third or fourth tackle on your team. Okay? In a perfect world, let me put it this way. In a perfect world, Isaiah Prince develops more this year, becomes your swing tackle for Jackson and Hunt, and Jesse Davis is your fourth tackle. In a perfect world. I think that's how they envision everything. But it hasn't played out. And so at the moment, you've got to use Jesse Davis to kind of get by, even though he's not good enough as a starter. He's probably a fill-in guy. But here's where you're going overboard and you're putting too much importance on it and you're worried too much about something that they're not worried about. They're worried about trying to find starters. They're not selling you Jesse Davis as a starter. They're just telling you Jesse Davis is a solid football player. They never tell you Jesse Davis is our future. You never hear that. You never hear Jesse Davis is going to be our right tackle for the next 5 to 10 years. Never hear that. You always hear Jesse Davis is a professional. Jesse Davis works hard. Jesse Davis brings his lunch pail. Jesse Davis is a professional because that's what he is. He's all of those things. And he's actually a decent backup. That's all. Usually your third or fourth tackles, ladies and gentlemen, aren't people that are starting. They're usually guys that you just want them filling in for a quarter or a half, maybe a week, and that's it. And you're just trying to get by is what you're trying to do. It's not like people have left and right tackles hanging around on their bench. You know, like that one guy that reached out to us a little while ago and said, hey, should the Dolphins trade for a starting safety? Yeah, because, the league is littered with people having starting safeties on their bench. Like, hey, starting safety, and it's like a deck of cards. Pick one. Which one? Anyone. Go ahead. We got 8 of them. We'll trade them to you. No, it's not like that. So relax. Jesse Davis is what he is.
You need people like that on your roster.
You have to have Jesse Davis. Have to have them.
They're like role players in basketball. Same kind of
10th
situation.
man.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what Jesse Davis is, bro. He's the 10th, 12th guy on the bench. Relax. Not the end of the world, man. Isaiah Prince is with the Bengals. Well, you know what I mean. What's the name of the other what's the name of the young tackle that they got back there? Here, I'll look it up now. Let's see. Where is it? Who's a young tackle? Well, I guess I'm talking about Kaltmeyer or Hubbard now. Somebody like that. But that's probably what they want, is young guys, their third tackle. Yeah, you know what? Now that I think about it. No, Julian Davenport. That's the kid. That's probably the guy that they want to be third, is Julian Davenport, along with, what's it called? What's our boy now? Now I'm forgetting it. Jesse Davis. That's probably it. I'm looking at it now. Julian Davenport, not Isaiah, is the guy I was thinking of, and Jesse Davis. That's probably what you're looking at to be your third and fourth guy. You want Jackson and Hunt to be your starters. So relax, man. It's not you're worried too much about Jesse Davis, and he is what he is, and he's fine where he's at. It's just you think that what happened the last couple of years, that somehow they're going to force that guy into being your starter, and I don't think so. This is a fill-in. NorCal says, what is your favorite tailgate food? I once cooked 40 pounds of tri-tip and 30 pounds of chicken thighs. Tri-tip steaks are my all-time favorite tailgate favorite food. What says you? Wow. I don't know. I've never even thought of that.
Tri-tip cut's a great cut, man.
Huh? Yeah, but
tri-tip cut, you know what I love about it?
I've never even thought of what's my favorite tailgate food.
When you buy it, it's that Fred Flintstone size type.
Yeah.
Knock the car over at the drive-in.
Right. Yeah. You know what I would say, NorCal? Anything barbecue at a tailgate. I'm good with that. Anything barbecue, I'm good. Ribs, chicken, doesn't matter, bro. You name it. So I'm good with that. That's probably the direction I would go in. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. Now, a funny story could be developing in the NFL. Oh, you know what? Let's do this.
I was going to say,
Let's
you want to
break.
use that as a tease, man, because you're 11 past.
Yeah, we're past the top of the hour here. Let's take a quick break here. I'll tell you about a funny story developing in the NFL next.
He keeps texting, or
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All righty. We back. All right, lots of things to talk about on the program. I am amazed already as it is because we have talked a lot already here on the show and still got a whole bunch of other subjects that I want to get to. I got a couple of music notes that I want to mention also on the program. The one of the things that I think is a funny story developing, and it probably won't even end up happening when it's all said and done. Everybody knows that they've had this all-in challenge, and people are offering all kinds of prizes and all that. So the commissioner, during the draft, he offered his man cave up for auction, right? And obviously somebody gets to go hang out with the commissioner and watch some football and enjoy the man cave, how the commissioner does every week during the season when he's not on the road and he's home watching it. He's watching it in his man cave, right? So the auction went off, and the prize, or the total for the winning prize, was $250,000. $250,000 was the auction for that. Now, the man that won it is Dave Portnoy from Barstool. And if you've kept up with anything Barstool, okay, Barstool's kind of, it's a fun channel. It's on Sirius. It's channel 85, if I'm correct. And it is all out, okay? They kind of talk about sports and pop culture and all. It's a fun channel. And they are open with their language. Okay, you will hear F drops there like crazy. The hosts can openly curse like it's going out of style. Okay? And if you know anything about Dave and his history, and it's been hilarious, he has terrorized the NFL. He is banned from NFL functions. And yet he breaks into Super Bowl week and different things. And he gets into these events with, fake credentials and other names on the credentials and all that kind of stuff. So he's been, and they've busted him and they've kicked him out. And they hate his ass in the NFL.
They're taking him out with handcuffs.
Yeah. They hate his ass in the NFL. Okay. And I personally, I like Dave, man. I think he's fantastic. All right. And they do a fun job with that channel. They really do a nice job with that channel overall. So Dave ended up winning the auction for $250,000. So he was asked about winning the challenge and hanging out with the commissioner, and here's what Dave Portnoy had to say about it.
No, I haven't heard a word. I mean, I've gotten the automatic responses, but nothing outside the ordinary, not just the automatic responses. So, they have the right to cancel it. It says that in the terms and conditions of every auction that they do. I have no idea what they're going to do. If I was a betting man, I'd say they're going to worm their way out of it, because it basically says if Roger Goodell had a sense of humor, he could, spin this and make himself look good. Roger Goodell does not have a sense of humor. He has no self-awareness. He's proven that for the past decade. So I don't see that changing now. I don't think you'll see even an ounce of comedic relief in this. So I could easily see them canceling it and running. Well, a lot of people think that I'll play nice. I mean, I won't. I have a million questions for him. I think he's made a mockery of the league for the last decade. So a lot of Deflategate questions. I think he lied throughout that investigation. So I'll ask him about that. I'll ask him about the way he handled the Ray Rice situation. I'll ask him about concussions. I'll ask him about a lot of stuff. I have 4 hours with him. So I will have a binder. I will walk in and have every question. Roger Goodell has never been asked a real question. He surrounds himself with yes men. and they throw him softball questions. So I will hit him with every question that basically every fan has ever wanted to ask him. Clown shirt, of course. I may have some custom stuff. We'll probably try to monetize that in a way, wear new stuff that we can sell. But yeah, the clown will for sure be incorporated into it. My entire premise was the ability to actually sit with him for 4 hours and ask him questions. And there's nowhere for him to run, nowhere for him to hide. I actually don't know how he'll answer them. If he's honest and truthful, he's like, hey, Dave, I am a scumbag. I got these 40 owners, and I'm just like, that may be the first question. Are you just a punching bag for the owners? Like, because you get dragged through the mud. Everything that goes wrong, basically, you get blamed for, Roger. So do you just not get to speak your mind? Do you hate just being basically dragged through the mud constantly? Do you feel you're the most overpaid human in the world? He makes $40 million a year. That is the single most overpaid position in the universe. Like, there's lots of people who could be commissioner in the NFL. You may have to have the training like he did, but he doesn't have it. He wasn't born with any great skill. He's not overly good looking. He's not athletic. There's no reason why, if I didn't come up through the NFL or you, we couldn't be commissioner. He's right place, right time. Probably a product of, fortune and getting ahead because of his family, I would assume. I would have gone up to $1 million. I'm pretty sure I would have gone to $1 million. Yeah, I have no idea if he'll back out. Based on everything I've seen, I mean, they dragged me out of the Super Bowl in handcuffs when I wasn't bothering anybody. So, like I said, I do think he will not allow this. I don't think they'll let it happen. And he's an idiot. Like Barstool Sports, whether he wants to admit it or not, I don't know that he's even on the record of ever admitting he knows what it is. I know he's denied it. Within like a year, he said he never heard of it. If he even had an ounce of common sense, humility, self-awareness, he would play this off as a joke. Like, I would show up and he'd be wearing the clown shirt and kind of make a joke of it and disarm me. He's too stupid to do that. He really is. But that's what I would do if I were him. Either that or just take your medicine.
He's 1,000% right. That's the way the commissioner should play it off. But because, and Dave just said it, he's going to have a folder of questions. And already by talking about, I'm going to ask him about Deflategate, I'm going to ask him about, they're going to cancel it. And they have the right to do it. And they'll cancel his bid, and they'll take the next highest bid after that. That's what's going to end up happening. There's no way they allow Dave Portnoy to hang out with the commissioner for 4 hours. That will be the longest 4 hours of the commissioner's life. Although I will say this, that should be a pay-per-view event. I don't pay for pay-per-view events. That might be one I would pay for. Okay? That might be one that I would fork over the credit card and say, yeah, I want to see this for 4 hours. I want to see Portnoy grill this guy for 4 hours. That would be awesome, dude. That would be fantastic. And the fact that Portnoy was going to go up to $1 million, okay, one, it shows you how good Barstool's doing, because obviously it must be doing really well if you're willing to invest $1 million in all of this. And I love how he says he's going to, probably try to, create some new material out of it so they can monetize it. And he should go in the clown suit. Just for the hell of it. Again, I don't think it's going to happen. I think the NFL wants nothing to do with Dave. And he's also right. The commissioner knows Barstool because they've been in their crawl for the last couple of years. So they know everything about Barstool. In fact, I'm sure somebody in the league probably is, in charge of just looking at everything that comes out of Barstool. Just so they know the questionable stuff and they can, jot it all down and keep it as a record and hold it against them if they want to and all of that. Man, that would be amazing to be there for 4 hours watching Portnoy question the commissioner over and over again. Man of 1,005 Holes says, even if he doesn't get accepted, someone else will just ask what he was going to ask. Nah, No, they won't, dude. No, they won't. No, they won't.
Have you ever seen the commissioner get interviewed and not be
No.
a controlled
No.
situation?
Yeah, because the other person that's winning is just going to be a Joe fan, and they're just going to be, oh, I'm in the commissioner's, man cave, and I'm watching. I'm going to take a selfie with him, and I'm going to post it on social media, and that's it, dude. It'll be all fluff. Nobody's going to actually win and then use some journalistic integrity and go in there and try to ask like real tough questions.
You ready for this?
It's not going to happen.
How about the NFL setting it up, and the person that wins is somebody that's one of their setups?
Could be.
And that way it's totally controlled.
Could
and they
be.
could have some nice little fluff questions, blah, and they have control of it.
Could
Because
be.
you never see the NFL ever go outside where they're actually getting hit with real serious questions.
Yeah. Samuel Rabina goes, Portnoy is ruthless. I hope it really happens. He's going to rip Goodell. That's why it won't happen, because they know what's going to happen. So there's no way that they allow it. Portnoy has to know that he's not. He said it himself. He doesn't think it's going to end up happening. What are you going to do? But I think that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty funny if that's the case. What happened with last year's investigation to the Patriots with the Bengals? Nothing. Nothing at all. Which, whatever, bro. What are you going to do? You need to get the rap version of your theme song redone in a Rage Against the Machine style. All right, Raging Dolphin Maniac, do you have a band? Do you know a band that wants to record it for us? And if they want to charge, do you want to pay for it, Raging Dolphin Maniac? I'm just saying, because I don't have a band that I know personally, Rage Against the Machine style, that I can say, hey, record my theme song for me. But if you know somebody that's willing to do it, and, they actually sound pretty good, hey, more power to you, man. You guys can help us out here on the show. Go for it.
You ain't got Tommy on speed dial.
I'm working on. You mean
Tom
Morello?
Morello, yeah. You ain't got him on speed dial, bro.
No.
He's a big Kiss fan. I figure maybe, you
Just
two
a
guys,
slight,
Kiss
yeah.
guys, he's the one that did the induction for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
He actually did a really good job in the induction. Morello was excellent for that induction, I have to say. That I got to give him a lot of love. Emery Ricks on Twitter says football locker rooms have always been an area of passing illnesses like flu or staph infections. Didn't Browns have a big issue like that some years ago? Yeah, several teams have had issues with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not only one team. All kinds of teams have had those issues. So yeah, it's a normal thing. But anyway, I hope Portnoy is able to pull it off, man, because that would be fantastic. We got baseball. The owners have put together a proposal that they're going to bring to the players now. And the issue, by the way, there's several things. Okay, first of all, it's regular season starting in July, 82 games, expanded playoffs to 14 teams, schedule only division opponents and nearby teams. So I guess we'll be playing the Rays a lot, that kind of stuff. So we'll be dealing with the Rays, which, by the way, a pain in the ass for us because they're usually pretty damn good. If they can compete in the AL East, they'll have no problem against us in the NL East. Anyway, they are going to expand rosters up to 30 with 50 standby players. But once you pick those players, those are the players you are going to war with for the rest of the run. The use of home stadiums in states with government approval. So New York and California, who are, obviously New York is the center of the world for the coronavirus. Nobody has more. New York has more deaths than a lot of countries. Okay? Maybe let me rephrase that. Than most countries. There's only a few countries that actually have more deaths than New York has. So that may be issues for the teams in New York and California when they get going. Also, a universal DH this year, and who knows if this is a sign of things to come down the line. And then they've also got a revenue split of 50-50, and they've got kind of like a salary cap, in other words. Now, Tony Clark was not happy about that. Okay, and this is what Tony had to say about this. A system that restricts players' pay based on revenues is a salary cap, period. This is not the first salary cap proposal our union has received. It probably won't be the last, he added. That the league is trying to take advantage of a global health crisis to get what they've failed to achieve in the past and to anonymously negotiate through the media for the last several days suggests they know exactly how this will be received. None of this is beneficial to the process of finding a way for us to safely get back on the field and resume a 2020 season, which continues to be our sole focus. First of all, Tony, safe and salary cap are two different things. Okay. So are we talking about the salary cap, or are we talking about you safely coming back to the field? Because you can safely come back to the field if you're getting 1% of the revenue or 99% of the revenue. Right? Safely is safely. Has nothing to do with the money. So let's separate the two. Now, in this situation where you've got unemployment through the roof, people are losing their jobs, their careers, their businesses, all of that, it makes the players look selfish if they're fighting for their individual rights here for the payment. And they don't want it to be a salary cap. Now, just like I told you, they're introducing a universal DH, which could be the start of it permanently. Players look at you implementing a salary cap this year, and they say, well, then this is how you start to then force it into, the equation the following year after that and the year after that. So I can understand that part of the players. Now, at a time where everybody is losing a lot, it is going to be a terrible look for players. If they're worried, and remember, when the revenue says 50-50, Joe Fan looks at it and says, well, that seems fair. Everybody gets half and half. That's fine. It's not the way the players look at it. And so then that's why they are worried that this will be the start of something that could be a detriment to them on a long-term basis. They need to be very careful how they tread here, okay? Jeff Passan from ESPN talked a little bit about the players making this change, and will they accept the deal that is in place?
This week is not going to be fun, and this is a consequence of an agreement in March that the union believes one thing and Major League Baseball believes another. Ultimately, it is going to come down to money, but I want to go to the end of this because I think that's the important part. I want to go to what happens if money takes this whole thing off the rails and we do not have a baseball season. What you have is players who are not getting paid, players who are getting a year older, players who have free agency that's a disaster. You have owners who haven't made a cent of revenue this year. You have owners whose franchise values could go down. You have owners who might end up in bankruptcy having to sell their teams. Because of that, Greeny, because of those terrible outcomes if there is no baseball, I have a really difficult time believing that these two parties can't get together and figure out how to split a few $1 billion. Because isn't that what this comes down to? That we're in the middle of a global pandemic right now, and if millionaires and billionaires can't get together and figure out how to be just a little less rich, there's a really big problem with this sport that's going to chase it around for years and years to come.
Look, this sport's already like it's circling the drain. Okay? That's what it's been doing. Football and basketball passed it years ago. decades ago, actually. We're at decades now. Okay? It's been decades that football and basketball are ahead. I've already said it on this show several times. By 2030, the MLS will be ahead of Major League Baseball. Okay? Bank on it, bet on it, put your life on it, bet your house, bet everything you got. MLS soccer will be ahead of Major League Baseball by 2030. Why? Because they continue to be dinosaurs. They live in the dinosaur age. And they don't see that everybody else cares less about them. Okay? Less people are watching, less people are attending, less people are buying tickets. Every year. And if these idiots want to fight over money and let the season pass, all you're going to do is hurry up the process of you becoming less important in the sports landscape. I am so intrigued about the next collective bargaining agreement with and when they have to negotiate with TV contracts again. That next contract, I see the numbers going down. And now all this talk, even some of the people that have defended baseball, and they're still paying enormous salaries. Yeah, for now. And they're trying to get out of some of them. And they're trying to eliminate minor league teams now. And it's all catching up to them now. That's the problem now with baseball. So if they want to keep burying themselves and they want to keep doing stupid things, you go ahead and fight about this. And let the season pass. And let a whole year go by and you're not in the conscience of the sports fan. You go ahead and do that, baseball. You go ahead and keep burying just throwing that sand, bro. Just keep throwing the sand on the coffin. That's what you're doing with baseball. GP Hewitt says, greedy bastards. You're right about that. Renee Cruz likes the Eiffel Tower and the Spidey. I guess, Renee, are you new to the show? But yes, that is our Eiffel Tower. I got the Eiffel Tower last year when I went to Paris with the wife for our 25th wedding anniversary. So I figured I'd bring back a little memory. Myron says, I believe no sport will work without a vaccine. Why? Because sports are not primary lives, period. You know what? I'm with you, Myron. I think that without the vaccine and massive testing, like I said, you have to have testing where you can test these guys twice a day, in the morning and the evenings. Yeah, I'm with you. Rosendo Marco says, Big O, last night NFL Network was replaying the 94 game where Marino threw like 5 TDs. That's cool, my brother. Mickey Collazo says, what's up, Big O? Michael Guerrero says, Big O, LA Rams under 8.5 wins. Looks very solid. Oh, yeah. Go for it, dude. Definitely. Under 8.5. They're not winning 9 games. No way. They are going the other way. That window's shut on the Rams, dude. Shut on the Rams. So definitely take the under. Mike Pellegrino says, I have friends that bought airline, concert, and sports tickets and can't get refunds. That sucks, dude. That sucks. We were lucky. We got our refunds for our trips. What's up, Big O? Everybody be safe. Thank you out there. King Short is chiming in. Let's see. What else do we have? Nico says, golf can work without a vaccine. Maybe. That might be one. Only shot I'm taking is a bullet to the head. That's what Billy Batson says. I don't know why you would do that, but that's really not a good idea. You don't really need to take a shot, a gunshot to the head. Let me see what we got on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. A little knowledge for the guy that wants a safety. Safety is no longer the Louis Oliver, Ronnie Lott type of player. That's old school. Safety in today's game needs to have speed, able to cover tight ends, smart, and basic fundamentals tackling. The bruiser safety days are gone. You are correct, sir. You are so right. Big O, I found your show, Transplant from Florida, living in Seattle. I go to one phone game each year, or I guess you mean home game. I'll never be a Pete Carroll fan ever. Dinner, he gave the choke sign to Stoyo. Fins forever, Tom S. Tom, thank you for finding us. Thank you for supporting us. We're on every day at 11 a.m., although tomorrow it'll be noon because we're at VSS West Pines. During this pandemic, we've been doing noon with them, not 11 a.m. After the pandemic's over, we'll go back to 11 a.m. But usually it's 11 a.m. every day, pretty much, ladies and gentlemen out there, except for Wednesdays. This Wednesday and next Wednesday will be at noon. But you can catch us. So, Tom and all of you out there, any of you new folks out there, thank you so much for chiming in. And the Super Chat is active once again. Myron Sanchez, baby. Oh, vaccine will bring me back to live shows with a mask. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. And I got a badass mask coming. I got an Iron Maiden mask I found. I love it. Iron Maiden made 6 different types of masks. So I bought one of them, and I can't wait to get my Iron Maiden mask. I mean, my mask is pretty cool looking, but I figured, this is going to be part of our lives now, pretty much. And I've already told you, and I told Bill too, from now on, anytime I go to the airport, I'm going with a mask. A week from now, a month from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, I'm wearing a mask every time. It's a great idea. Considering how everybody's coughing and wheezing and all kinds of crap in an airplane, screw it, dude. I'm going to wear a mask and just cut my chances. Anyway, when I get on planes, I wear I have a blanket that I take my own blanket and I cover my mouth anyway. So it's like I'm wearing a mask anyway. This way I could just cover my face and never have to worry about it. That's it. So I've been doing this for years. I take my own pillow and my own blanket, and I normally cover myself and cover my mouth because of all the germs flying around in the damn plane. When you do what I do for a living every day and you work with your voice, you try to avoid colds as much as possible. You know what I mean? I take my Nature B every day, all of that. I do all those kind of things. And if you followed me over the years, because of the Nature B, I rarely have colds. I mean, it's rare, man. I just don't get them, So, yeah, for me, the mask, I'm with you, Myron. It's going to be a part of our lives from here on out. And you know what? At first, you kind of felt silly doing it, or you maybe it seemed like some kind of weakness on your part by doing it. But now, I think now everybody kind of understands it, and people don't look at it as awkward or weird. And I think it's going to be, again, different things become the norm. This is one of them now that becomes a norm. So I'm with you. Jay Gelfand says, good afternoon, Orlando. I believe Miami CF will outdraw the Miami Marlins working the first year. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. In fact, I don't think the Marlins will ever outdraw Miami CF until that team builds up and they're winning. Then maybe they can challenge. But you have to understand that Miami CF, Inter Miami CF, when they add their international players, look out, man. It's over. It's over. Once they add the international players and you add star quality, you know what happens in our town. You bring stars, we support, man. So, yeah, I'm with you, Jay. Kenneth Cleveland, Big O is chiming in. Billy Batson says vaccine police will be doing the honors. Let's see. What else do we have here? Renee Cruz says, I got a Black Sabbath Mob Rules mask on eBay for $15. That's awesome. Renee, you gotta post a picture. If you guys have those cool masks like I got, like the Iron Maiden one that I got coming, and if you got like the Black Sabbath one, do me a favor, go to my Twitter page at Big O Show, take a picture and tweet it out to us. I think that's pretty cool, man.
Here.
Start tweeting out the cool masks.
You have your mask on. You got a little strobe light action going on. You have E5150 going into Mob Rules,
There you
like
go.
as a video.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, that would be nice. I like it. So, yeah, man, tweet. You guys should tweet out some of these cool masks because now these companies are smart because now they know that this is going to be a part of our fabric of our society. So now let's go make cool masks so people can have, like, you know, their personalities on their masks, you know?
Although we got in early, we got some cool-looking N99s.
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely. But I will unseat my daughter in the house with the coolest mask because I bought her the coolest looking one 2 months ago when I bought my masks. But now that I ran into that Iron Maiden mask a couple days ago, I can't wait to get my Iron Maiden mask. Now I look forward to it. Now I can wear the Iron Maiden mask to all the concerts. I can wear the Iron Maiden mask to an airport, you know, when I'm flying. It's a beautiful thing, man. I'll have 2 masks now in the car. I'll have the red one that I have, and then I'll have my Iron Maiden mask ready to go. So it all depends on where I'm at. You know, if I'm going somewhere lame, it's Publix or something, I'll put the red one on. If I'm going somewhere styling, concert or something like that down the line, Iron Maiden, baby. Although I have not seen this, but I would love a dolphin mask with the old logo. There's plenty out there with the new logo. I don't want to wear that new logo dead, okay? I would come back, haunt my wife if she actually put on the new logo in my casket. Anywhere in my casket. I would haunt that woman forever for doing that to me.
Just say no to the Miami Orcas.
Yeah, no. I can't stand that logo. Man, that logo is crap. Oh. Mickey Koyazu says, I feel the only reason baseball is still around is only because of how long the sport has been around, and it was a major sport in the old days. Otherwise, it's a boring sport. Oh, listen, all young people feel that way. Us old people, we still love baseball, man. I still love to watch baseball. I have no problem with baseball. I actually don't like the new baseball that is all home runs or strikeouts. That drives me crazy. Because the players I used to watch, you pull a switch on them, and it's like, oh, really? You're going to do that to me? Oh, okay, you're going to leave that gap open? Bam, 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 bam. That's the kind of players.
Shift?
Yeah.
Dude, nobody knows how to bunt.
No.
People would be laying down bunts on the third baseline all day long.
They don't know how to hit the opposite fields in this game anymore. Okay? They're not even disciplined enough to know how to hit to opposite fields. That's how bad it is. But anyway, whatever. So I get it, man. Young people don't like baseball, man. I totally understand that. I had my mom sew a pocket in my dolphin mask, and I put a bud in it. Everything smells so good now. Thanks, Mom. Only NorCal would come up with that one. Louis Don says, hey, looking at the Jose Fernandez picture there, what was the outcome of the lawsuits with the accident? You know what? I have no idea. And by the way, it's a bobblehead. Okay? It's just inside. And no, I'm not taking it out. I already did that.
You could go back somewhere last week, the week before. It's on video.
Yeah. Yep. So it's a Jose bobblehead. Hey, pass me my other one there. That one's classic. I can really trip people out with that one. So I give you a Jose, right? And then I'll give you a Hanley. There you go. Hanley. Let's go with Hanley. Let's see. What else do we have? Only in America does protection against a deadly illness turn into a fashion statement. Yeah, no, you're right about that. You're right. But if anybody knows where I could get a killer mask, and I don't want the little string ones. No, I want the one that, seals up in the back, an N95. Dolphins, old logo. Okay? Send me the link to my Twitter page at Big O Show. Email it to me, Orlando at Big O Radio Show. Remember, you can email me anytime, Orlando at Big O Radio Show. If you want to send me a video, if you want to send me, whatever, man. You name it, send it to me. We'll be there. Let's see, what else do we have on the accidentlawfirm.com text line? Plandemic has just begun. Welcome to 84. It's a brave new world. Those masks don't protect you. OBA, oxygen breathing apparatus should be worn for true protection. Yes, I know that. I get that it's not 100%, but it's better than wearing nothing. Okay? And by the way, if it doesn't protect, why do you think healthcare professionals are wearing it? So I get that it's not to spread, but it's also not to get to. All right? So I love when people want to downplay it, but if you don't wear anything, you're more susceptible to it. If you're wearing something, you're at least protected from it to a certain extent. Nothing's perfect. We all know that. And yes, we know you can get it in your eyes and you can get it in your ears and all that good stuff. I get it. What's really boring is soccer, is what Mike Pellegrino says. Meanwhile, Mike, it's the number one sport in the world. So once again, Mike, you are wrong. But Mike, I love you because you're consistently wrong. And, there's something to be said about that. I mean, Mike, what you got to like about Mike Pellegrino is that Don Shula and his team achieve perfection in a winning sense, right? Mike Pellegrino is a guy that loves perfection being wrong. He's perfectly wrong on a consistent basis. So I think we should all celebrate Mike Pellegrino for his consistency. It's strong. It's strong stuff on his part. I'm telling you. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there. But it will be nice, right? The players made what? No, the league made $10.7 billion last year, and players averaged $4.4 million last year. Man, I feel sorry for them. They are really struggling. Big O, buenas tardes. 2 masks at a time here in the DR. 95 masks below and regular medical on top. Manny Arholes, no mask. Be safe, James. Okay? I need some advice. I wore a Trump mask to Publix, and they kicked me out. They said it was offensive. Then I saw all the millennials working there with masks, and they were freaking with their masks with bare hands. What the F? I don't know, bro. But, I mean, if you were wearing a Trump mask, they should have given you the red carpet, man. They should give you free food and everything there at Publix. Can't imagine why they would deny you with a Trump mask. Come on, you're making America great. 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Let me ask something out here, and this is a musical question that I have for you guys here, all right? I'm going to switch a little gears here and talk a little music, okay? Is Dave Grohl the coolest rocker on the planet? Right now, if you had to name somebody in rock and roll, who is the coolest rocker? I say it's Dave Grohl. You tell me who else it could be, all right? The COVID-19 pandemic has impacted just about every walk of life. Music lovers especially. Hard times for them, right? Dave Grohl, by the way, says that live music will come back, man. Okay? He says the Foo Fighters frontman is bummed just like the rest of us because not only is he a performer, fan, and he loves the shared communal experience of a live show. Grohl spoke about the band's now shelved plans for the special 4th of July bash in Washington, D.C. I know exactly where I was supposed to be. FedEx Field, outside of Washington, D.C. with my band and roughly 80,000 of our closest friends. We are going to be celebrating the 25th anniversary of our debut album, calling it the Red, White, and Blue Keg Party for the Ages. He adds, I know that those of us who don't have to work in hospitals or deliver packages are the lucky ones. But still, I'm hungry for a big old plate of sweaty, ear-shredding, live rock and roll ASAP. The kind that makes your heart race, your body move, your soul stir with passion. There's nothing like the energy and atmosphere of live music. It's the most life-affirming experience to see your favorite performer on stage, in the flesh, rather than a one-dimensional image glowing in your laptop as you spiral down a midnight YouTube wormhole. Even our most beloved superheroes become human in person, says Grohl, recounting what must have been like to see Queen at Wembley Stadium for Live Aid, recalling his own experience watching U2 on the Elevation tour as a fan, getting lost in the show. He also recalled Bruce Springsteen checking out a Foo Fighters show, watching from the audience, later sending Grohl a note. I received a letter from Bruce, handwritten on hotel stationery, that explained this very clearly. When you look at the audience, he wrote, you should see yourself in them, just as they should see themselves in you. Not to brag, but I think I've had the best seat in the house for 25 years because I do see you, says the singer. I see you pressed against the cold front rails. I see you air drumming along to your favorite songs in the distant rafters. I see you lifted above the crowd and carried to the stage for a glorious swan dive back into a sweaty embrace. I see your homemade signs, your vintage t-shirts. I hear your laughter, your screams. I see your tears. I have seen you yawn. Yeah, you. I've watched you pass out drunk on your seat. I've seen you in a hurricane-forced winds, in 100-degree heat, in sub-zero temperatures. I've even seen you grow older and become parents. Now with your children's day-glow protective headphones bouncing on your shoulders. And each night, when I tell our lighting engineer to light them up, I do so because I need that room to shrink and to join with you as one under the harsh fluorescent glow. In today's world of fear and unease and social distancing, it's hard to imagine sharing experiences like this ever again. I don't know when it'll be safe to return to singing arm in arm at the top of our lungs, hearts racing, bodies moving, souls bursting with life. But I do know that we will do it again because we have to. It's not a choice. We're human. We need moments that reassure us that we're not alone, that we're understood, that we're imperfect, and most important, that we need each other. I have shared my music, my words, my life with the people who come to our shows, and they have shared their voices with me. Without that audience, that screaming, sweating audience, my songs would only be sound. But together, we are instruments in a sonic cathedral, one that we build together night after night, and one that we will surely build again. Tell me, Dave Grohl is not the coolest freaking rocker on the planet. And if you've never been to a Foo Fighters show, I'm telling you, you need to find a way to get to one. Because those are the kind of bands, those are the kind of people that you want to gravitate to as a music fan, because it's an experience when you get to see somebody like that do their thing. You know, and when you walk out of a concert from the Foo Fighters, you feel like you got your money's worth.
What it is, man, is they care about the fans.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's so many times you go and it's just the cookie cutter. We did our bare minimum. We got our money. Have a good night. Yeah. Turn off the lights.
Right.
Let's get out of here.
Right. And that's not that guy. And how is that an amazing letter or what by Dave Grohl? I mean, that's just.
You know who's right up there with cool stuff like that? The guy from Coldplay.
Okay. All right.
He's got some pretty cool little.
Okay. Chris.
Is it
Martin? It is Martin.
It is Martin.
It is Martin. Yes.
That was only because of one of our listeners sending it in before.
He was married to that the Goop chick, and he dumped her ass. Myron says, I saw Dave Grohl mopping his house floor like a regular dude. He is so cool. Dave Grohl is just, he's the perfect guy because he's also a fan. And one of the things I love about Dave is he appreciates the people that came before him, the great artists, like he was talking about U2, getting lost in their show because he's a fan, and he appreciates great music. And then Bruce is at his show. And if you've never been to a Bruce Springsteen concert, then, you're missing out on a slice of Americana, baby. I can't help you. You know what I'm saying? Bruce is another one of those concerts you've got to go to. If I can afford it, I go to as many Bruce Springsteen concerts. Like I said, if I can afford it, because they've gotten pretty expensive.
Have
Bruce Springsteen concerts.
You heard about the movie Blinded by the Light? I think is what it's called. It's a Afghanistan kid that's in England, and the races in this, and he becomes a Bruce Springsteen fan, and how Bruce changed everything in his and he starts writing. Well, it's based on a true story, and at the end of the movie, he's got like pictures with Bruce, and he's seen like 150 shows and all this stuff, but how like Bruce's music changed his life, and he's actually a writer.
Right.
It's a true story. Blinded by the Light. Actually, I caught it. Pretty cool movie.
Okay. This thing was falling down, so I wanted to. It was getting tilted one way. Oh, wait. Doing it the wrong way. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Got to remember that. Those of you that remember that, you got to remember. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. There we go. Okay. Now we're good. So, yeah, I've never seen that movie. Oh, I checked out all the live chats on, and this is the most interesting one on right now. I was looking for an extraterrestrial, alien, and UFO fan chat. None of them yet. How many dubs are you smoking two at the same time? Let's see. What else do we have here? Tua jersey hotter than the summer. Okay. Big O, remember, it's all fun till the rabbit gets the gun. Last concert I saw was Santana at Red Rocks. Wow, that's nice. That's nice. I saw Greta at Red Rocks in September last year. Yeah, twice. Damn right. Grohl is okay. Richie Kotzen, Billy Sheehan, and Mike Portnoy are the Winery Dogs. Cool. I love the Winery Dogs, man. I'm a huge Winery Dogs fan. I heard that they might be working on a new album, actually. So I'm looking forward to that. My dad is a huge Bon Jovi fan, so he made me love them and all the other old school rockers. I was a huge Bon Jovi guy. Now I can't listen to Bon Jovi anymore because his last few albums, it's just fluff crap, man. He stopped rocking. That's the part I hate. He stopped rocking. Myron, again, chiming in on a super chat. And he says, who is better, Bruce or Billy J? Wow, Bruce Springsteen or Billy Joel? Man, that's really tough. Look, I'm going to tell you. All right, this is the way I would phrase it. In the world of rock, I would put Bruce ahead of him. In the world of pop, I would put Billy Joel ahead of Bruce. I kind of look at them as they're both the same kind of icons. It's just maybe Billy Joel might be a little bit more mainstream, in other words, than Bruce. You know what I mean? Bruce obviously has had his share of mainstream hits. but Billy's kind of been more of a mainstream type guy. Man, it's really hard because they're both so great in their own right. It's two different styles. Bruce is also the better musician because he plays like 800 instruments. I don't think Billy Joel plays 800 instruments. Wow, that's tough, man. That's tough.
They're two different. You can't say one is better than the other. I mean, they both have like iconic all-time songs.
Yeah. I mean, if I gun to head, if I got to choose between the two, I'd probably slightly lean to Billy Joel for his hits and all that. But if I really feel like rocking and getting to my soul, I'm going to go with Bruce Springsteen. You know? It's just, it's two different styles, man. But both so great. So great. Big O, check out Devin Townsend. You won't regret it. Start with the song Storm Bending. Devin Townsend. Okay. And by the way, the gentleman that told me to listen to Devil Skin, I listened to Devil Skin, and it's all right. No Hailstorm, not Dorothy. You know, I could come up with several female artists that I'd rather hear. It's all right. It just
nothing exceptional jumped out at you.
Yeah, no,
but
it sounded fine.
But it had a great sound, a rhythm.
Yeah.
It just no particular instrument was over like, wow, that's nobody else can do that.
Even the voice.
But yeah,
it was all right.
It was cool. I mean, the songs were catchy and likable.
Yeah, solid. But I wouldn't put it where I would like if I want to hear Hailstorm, not even close. Not even close. When you listen to Lizzie compared to Devil Skin, I would probably lean way over on the Hailstorm side. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't anything impressive. Bruce Spence says, have you been in the inner circle for a U2 concert, Big O? I'll never forget Bono and The Edge going back and forth on a solo during Until the End of the World. Feet from Me. So awesome. Brett, I have several times. I've been up front, circle, everywhere at a U2 concert pretty much. I usually go every tour that there is. I see them 2 or 3 times at least. Hell, in the last tour, I saw them 4 times, I think it was.
Yeah, the one that I regret because I decided to go to grad night.
Oh, Unforgettable Fire.
Yeah. Second row, Hollywood Sportatorium, Unforgettable Fire. And there in the auditorium before we're leaving for school to get ready, I decide I'm going to go to grad night.
Yep.
I don't regret it. I saw Run DMC.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Animotion, Night Ranger for the blah, blah number of time, but Unforgettable Fire, man. Second row.
Major Finn says Elton John pulled a guy on stage when he saw him propose to his girlfriend. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Renee Cruz is saying Uriah Heep, Mahogany Rush. Okay. And then he goes Motorheads and Ramones. What are you doing there? Misfits, Discharge. Renee, I'm not sure what you're trying to do. You're just naming bands there. Big O loves Tiesto. Not. You're probably right.
You don't like Tiesto, man?
What is Tiesto? Some kind of EMD rap?
Yes.
Okay.
Tiesto's like Swedish House Mafia. They're one of the Zed.
Okay. Yeah, definitely not.
They're up there.
Okay. Definitely not. New rap would be really hard for me to like, too. Very little new rap I like. Love old rap. But new rap, Renee, again, UFO with Michael Schenker. Okay. Big O, what do you think of Black Label Society? I love Zach, man. Saw Black Label Society recently at the Revolution Live. Got to meet Zach, actually. And in fact, I got a big-ass poster signed by him and the band from that meeting at the Revolution Live. That was actually a lot of fun. I love Black Label Society. I'm a huge Zach Wild fan. If he's with Ozzy, if he's with Black Label Society, whatever. You know, when I talked about Dave Grohl being the coolest rocker on the planet, let me just tell you something. Zach Wilde is like right behind him. Seriously, like right behind him. I in the meet and greet, I saw a star that again, like cared about the people that he was signing autographs with, taking pictures. At one moment, we were inside the trying to take a picture as a group inside the Revolution Live, and if anybody is on this chat board that was there, what was this, like maybe a year ago? You know what I'm talking about. Zach in the middle of it goes, hey, guys, no, the lighting's not good. Let's move over this way so we can get a better picture. Normally, stars are just like, yeah, take the picture. They don't care about the lighting or anything about it. It's a one picture of thousands that they take, and it's not a memory for them, but he knew it was a memory for all those other people. So he wanted to make sure that the memory he gave them was the best memory possible. Let me tell you, Zach Wilde is one of the coolest rockers on the planet.
I remember Eddie Money.
Yeah.
Hi. Like he literally, it reminded me of like a robot.
Right.
Like at Disney World. You know, just, hi, how you doing? Yeah, next.
Yeah, let me just.
Hi, how you doing? Next.
Cash in. And
hi, how you doing? Next.
Yeah.
Hi, how you doing? Assembly line.
Yeah. Now, Lizzie Hailstorm, I met her before the show over at
yes, that was Greep's.
Cruzan.
That was Greep's birthday present to you, bro.
Yeah, that's right. And so
I got to go to Walmart while you were doing that.
So Lizzie, when I go to meet Lizzie Hale, we actually had like a little conversation, you know? And like she asked about me and this and that, and like she doesn't know me from Adam, dude. And it wasn't like the Eddie Money experience that we had. It was one of those, she's also top notch, man. Lizzie Hale is also one of the coolest rockers on the planet, man. Big O, the lead female singer for Evanescence, has a great voice. Yeah, no, Evanescence is an excellent band. She is a phenomenal singer. Yes, no doubt. I would see them in a heartbeat. Yes, no doubt.
And your girl, Lizzie, her voice is better live than it is the studio stuff.
She is phenomenal, bro. I get goosebumps when I see Lizzie do her thing on air, man. Do you see this? Kurt Cobain. Did I go over again?
Are you kidding me, man? I'm letting you run, dude. You know where you're at?
Did I?
You're coming up on 58 minutes, brother.
Oh, okay, because I'm looking at it's 1:13. I'm like, I went over again.
You just kept talking. I'm not going to stop you talking about Dave Grohl, and you get on a
Should I break now?
Man, you know what? We can do whatever you want. What do you want to do?
Yeah, let's get a quick break in. Let me tell you about Murias Dental, because I've got a really cool story that I want to talk about and elaborate a little bit on it. And I've got a couple of football stories also I want to get into and talk a little bit about that. But I do want to tell you about Murias Dental. Got my Invisaligns as always. Call them 305-821-0231. MuriasDental.com is the website. You can follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, whether it's Invisaligns, implants. And listen, right now, if for emergency purposes, they can take care of you. So if you've got a cavity, you've got some kind of pain right now, you need a root canal, you name it, they will take care of you. Call Eric Murias right now. Tell them that Big O sent you. They are phenomenal, state-of-the-art equipment, family-oriented and owned, folks. 305-821-0231. Save it on that cell phone. 305-821-0231, or go to MuriasDental.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All righty, welcome back. Yeah, I had to go downstairs and get because it had some dust. So I had to, clean up a little bit there, the Hanley Ramirez bobblehead. Apparently, well, it doesn't really. It's not a bobblehead. It's like a statue, right? I guess. Is that what it's called? So I figured, it had a little too much dust. I don't know what was going on. If Dustin Johnson was hanging around it, I'm not exactly
White's
sure.
got to be white.
Yes. So we had to make sure we take care of our stuff here in the studio, man. Anyway, let's see. Alex Toledo says about Kurt Cobain. Always interested in hearing about his life. Yes, and this is interesting. What's going on with Kurt Cobain? You guys remember well, I shouldn't say that because some of you are too young. Some of you don't care, and you were around, but you didn't care. Everybody knows about MTV's Unplugged Nirvana. That's one of those historic unplugs, right? There are a couple of MTV Unplugs that are really, really special.
That's probably the all-time.
That's one of them, yes, no doubt. Okay, I wouldn't argue with anybody that says that's the all-time one, right? Well, now you've got a chance to bid on the guitar that Kurt Cobain used on MTV's Unplugged. The singer's 59 Martin D18E that he performed during the taping back in '93 is the centerpiece of Julian's Auctions upcoming Music Icons taking place June 19th and the 20th in Beverly Hills, California. According to the auction's description, the instrument is a 59 Martin D18E guitar. It was the only guitar he used throughout the entire MTV Unplugged performance. Cobain purchased this vintage Martin guitar and its vintage hard shell case at the Voltage Guitar in Los Angeles. Both the guitar and its case were personally customized prior to the MTV appearance, and the set are being offered in this auction along with 3 Dunlap guitar picks, a partial set of Martin & Company guitar strings, and other accessories, okay? Cobain's guitar and sweater, which have been auctioned off in the past, remain the 2 hottest items in the classic MTV Unplugged performance. The guitar is estimated to start at $1 million. Wow. Prior to the sale, the guitar will be on display at the Hard Rock Cafe in Piccadilly Circus, London, May 15th through the 31st. By the way, I've been to the original Hard Rock in London. That was it's a small one too. And at Julian's Auctions in Beverly Hills on June 15th through the 19th. Now listen to this. Other items being auctioned off during the Julian's Music Icons auction event include Prince's custom-made 84 blue cloud guitar, a rare page of Paul McCartney's handwritten lyrics for Maxwell's Silverhammer, Jim Morrison's Paris Journal, filled with his thoughts and poems, Michael Jackson's Black Loafers, and an MTV Moon Man trophy for Leave Me Alone, a number of Johnny Cash items, including his Yamaha Baby grand piano, and some Elvis Presley jewelry and belt buckles.
So if you want them all, just load up a Brinks truck with a bunch of money and show up.
Yeah, you'll need it. They also will have items from Steely Dan, Phil Lesh, Madonna, The Police, David Bowie, Eddie Van Halen, Whitney Houston, Sonny and Cher, Mick Jagger, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, Freddie Mercury, Elton John, among others, will go on auction block. Now, the one that caught me was Sonny and Cher. What are you selling from Sonny and Cher? They didn't play any instruments. They just stood there and held their mics and just sung. So are we getting locks of hair from Cher? Are we getting some, smelly underwear?
Some of their iconic wardrobes worn on the Sonny and Cher show.
Okay, so now then the second part is I want to know who's the loser that is betting on anything from Sonny and Cher. And who is the ultimate loser that actually wins something from Sonny and Cher and then brags that they have something of Sonny and Cher? Seriously, what the hell would you be interested in anything from Sonny and Cher? Nothing. Maybe there's a man out there that would like to go out with Cher back then. Not now. Back then, maybe. I don't know. What could you auction off? Sonny Bono's mustache? What's left of his leg when he ran into a tree in snow skiing? I don't know what. You tell me.
Being pretty harsh, man. He was a great guy. Did a lot
Great
of
guy, great guy.
Public
Fine.
servant. Was
That's
in
fine.
Congress.
That's fine. I have no interest in them as singing. None.
They had a couple iconic songs, man.
Oh, I Got You, Babe. That's all they ever did. Cher had the iconic music in those days.
But Sonny was her
Half-Breed
manager and wrote, yes,
and
Half-Breed is incredible.
Gypsies, whatever that song is. Back in those days, that was Cher. Sonny and Cher. The hell do you want from them? What kind of auction? You got to pay me to auction that stuff off.
During their time, man, they were pretty big. During their time.
No, I lived it. I know. I was a child then. I was watching the
shows. I know. We were, and I remember them bringing out their daughter and the whole deal. But
right.
I mean, thing about it is that if you were a teenager or whatever, they were like huge.
Again, who the hell wants anything Sonny and Cher? That's like telling me I got something from Donnie and Marie Osmond.
Okay, that's one I just.
Well, they had more. They had more hits.
I know.
As a
family group. Yes,
yeah, they probably had more hits than Sonny and Cher.
I know, but nonetheless, the only thing I can remember is them being on Friday nights.
I know. I'm just saying. It just
he's a little bit country. She's a little bit rock or whatever it was,
Right.
And Paul Lynn being on the show.
That's it. I mean, I don't know what the hell
actually,
would you want?
I don't know if you remember this. For 5 or 6 weeks after their show, there was the Jackson 5 show that only had 5 episodes.
Renee says Sonny and Cher's daughter is a transvestite. Yes, we know. We know she had a switch. She switched up. Daniel Gallego says, Big O, I love you, babe. Thank you, Daniel. I love you, babe. Mike Pellegrino says Cher was huge. Mike, thank you for the obvious. We know Cher was huge. Let's see. Richard McLean, do they still sell rock in the pandemic? I don't know. I'm a recovering addict. Okay. Samuel Rubino says, first off, how in the hell did they get a hold of this iconic material? Oh, I don't know. That's probably all donated from, all of their whatever, their people, agents and whatever, that kind of stuff. Super Boom Shack says Slayer rules. HW says slow day in sports world. My man, it's been a slow couple months. What are you talking about? There's nothing going on in the sports world. The sports talk that we have now is,
what is it? Dak still not signed by Dallas. We do have the one thing about obviously baseball getting together and meeting, and seeing that's the only thing going on, right?
And there's nothing else going on, man. There's nothing else.
And the guard Wolford being out there,
right, and he wants $7 million a year, which is not a bad price, actually. As long as you don't, like I said for the Dolphins, it's got to be a 1 or 2 year deal, and then I think you'll be all right, and you can go with that.
When I saw that he was only asking that number, if the Bears and my Dolphins don't at least inquire,
Yeah.
You're talking about a guy that's been in the last 3 Pro Bowls. It's not like it was a few years. This guy's been in the last 3.
Yeah. I saw where the NFL is being put on blast right now because of the way they scheduled the Pats and the Bucks. Did you guys hear about this? If you want a little sports conversation, this is interesting. The NFL released its 2020 schedule, right, this week. It didn't take long for some people to realize that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Patriots don't have overlapping games until late December. In fact, Tom Brady's current and former teams only shared 2 simultaneous windows, the aforementioned Week 15 and then again in Week 17. Hearing that, it's easy to assume the league did their broadcast partners a favor by ensuring that the Patriots fans who might want to follow Brady's new adventures would be able to do so without having to make any sacrifice. When Mike Reese from ESPN asked the league about it, they responded with a statement, "It's a coincidence." And as Reese noted, primetime windows are big factors here. The Pats and Bucks both play 5 primetime games, and only Week 9 features both teams playing in primetime, with Tampa Bay hosting New Orleans on a Sunday night, while the Patriots travel to play the Jets on Monday night. Now, let me get into this a little bit, because I am not going to slam the NFL for this. I'm going to slam idiot media members that want to bring any kind of hate to this, or silly-ass fans. Do you know why I'm going to do this? Because I'm going to say, NFL, congratulations. That's what a smart league does. How can we capitalize our biggest storylines, our most important players, the teams that are actually, contenders? What do? Let's get them exposed. And if Tom Brady moved over to Tampa, it behooves you to, you know what? Let's not have those two combine right now and clash. We want Patriots fans to watch Bucs games because that will grow our viewership. And the Boston market, which is a pretty big market, now we get them interested in Tampa games. Just like Miami Heat fans were interested in LeBron games even when LeBron left. Because that's how it goes. So instead of writing an article and thinking about some conspiracy theory, and you know what? The NFL is so silly and so just lame that they came out exactly what Dave Portnoy was talking about, that if the NFL was smart and Goodell was smart, he'd come out with a clown suit and clown Dave Portnoy and have fun with it and just... That's it. Your guard's down, everything's gone, and they can't do anything to you. If the NFL's smart, they say, we're scheduling this so it's the best for everybody to take advantage, and we think it's what's best for the league. And that's it. Move on, because you know what? You are doing what's best for your league. If you actually put Tampa and New England games on at the same time, you'd be hurting yourself. Now you're maximizing your audience. Super smart, dude.
And remember, they got to make up numbers, man, because there's going to be no fans. They need to generate as much interest, money, whatever potential to, you know what I mean, the grab. Max it out.
Last year, people were wondering why the Pelicans were on television so much. They drafted Zion, dude. He's a draw. Nobody gives a rat's ass about the Pelicans, and I apologize, New Orleans. I'm sorry, but I just want to, speak the truth here. The league doesn't care about the Pelicans, but people care about Zion. So Brady goes to the Bucs. Nobody cares about the Bucs. Now Brady goes to the Bucs. Now we'll care more about the Bucs. What the league did was smart, responsible. It's what you're supposed to do. It's what I told you earlier on the conversation of the Dolphins. When somebody asked me, does ESPN hate the Dolphins? No, dude, the Dolphins suck. They're not sexy. They're boring. They don't win. They don't have stars. So why the hell would you put them on TV? That's what's been going on for 20 years. Now you got Tua. You got a real front office. You got a coaching staff. Now you're going to build something. Watch, in the next couple of years, the Dolphins will be on prime time a lot. Because they'll be sexy. People will care about them. People don't care about the Dolphins. Sorry, Dolphin fans. I get it. We care about our Dolphins. But the NFL in general looks at the Dolphins like a joke because that's what they've been for 20 years. So people coming up with this whole thing, the NFL's the dumbass here because they fell for a bait, the hook. What is it?
Called hook, line, and sinker.
Hook, line, and sinker. They fell for the entire thing. Instead of answering, what else do you guys expect us to do? Not strategically put our marquee teams and players on national television? No, we're going to do that. And the Patriots are on the decline, okay? But they're still a marquee team this year. They'll be a little bit of a marquee team next year. And then 3 years from now, you'll see they'll be in the toilet. Oh, man. Oh, bad days are headed your way, Patriot fans. But that's all right. You got 6 titles. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. Myron says, all I know is my Niners are very mad at losing the Super Bowl. Yep. And you just added a defensive lineman to just terrorize people. Putting it, Finsider says NFL should totally do that with the Finns and the Titans for those 3 Tannehill fans. Toledo says, I agree with Big O. What they're doing is super smart. Of course it is, man. Let's see. The way it looks, no baseball this year. Players won't take pay cuts. Hey, man, whatever. It's not like it. Look, most of the country is going to want baseball back just to have some kind of sporting event to watch. But if football comes back and basketball comes back and all that and baseball doesn't, it won't be missed. Because if you give us football and basketball, that's it. We'll be happy. And then MLS comes in and now you're going to give them the summer? All right, baseball, go ahead. Go ahead, dude. Keep opening up the door for you to just go right down the toilet, man. But like I've said before, the current players don't care because they're getting paid. They're getting their money. They don't care about big picture. They don't care that the sport is declining. They don't care that the future of the sport is garbage. They don't care because they get their money right now.
Well, you pointed that out when the NFL players agreed to the new bargaining agreement, right?
Right.
You said they're immediate. It's about now. I don't care about what's going to happen in 5 or 7, 10 years.
Nope.
I can give a crap.
They're short-sighted.
What do I going to get now,
right now,
while I'm here?
Right. And that's exactly what went on. So I just found that story funny. And I get it. The Patriots are involved in all kinds of controversies and all of that. And this has nothing to do with the Patriots. This is the league.
Belichick in no way, shape, or form here.
No. This is the league being super smart on how they structure the games. Genius. But the worst part is they pulled a Bill Clinton on us. Oh, it's a coincidence. That joint? No, I didn't inhale. It's like, what are we, stupid, bro?
This was not a coincidence.
There's no coincidence.
This was intentionally set
Bill
up.
Clinton inhaled every ounce of that smoke he took.
Bill needs to go learn how to smoke properly.
He smoked properly. Okay, watch him wear the sunglasses and play the sax. He smoked plenty. Okay? He inhaled every bit of it, too. Don't lie to me. People do these things.
So he walked away with little red eyes? Is that what you're saying?
Damn right. Every walk of life, they do it to us. They tell us these things like they think we're stupid. They just think we're stupid. And we're just going to believe anything you say. I didn't inhale. Get the hell out of here. Anyway, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, that's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, Call of Duty 1 says, does the MLS fans in the stands to be financially stable, or is their TV deal good enough to survive? Well, they're going to survive anyways because they're already making money. Call of Duty 1. It's a league that makes money. But no, they need fans in the stands. I'm sure they've got a nice TV deal, but it doesn't cover everything. So there will be teams losing money this year in the MLS. So yes, I think that's a league that definitely needs its fans in the stands. No doubt about it, my friend. Okay. Now, did you see how people were protesting closed gyms here in Florida and representing us yesterday? Did you catch that?
No, I was doing other stuff.
Well, a couple of dozen people in Florida are pushing back on gym closures by pushing up and squatting. That's right. That was the scene outside the courthouse on Monday. It looked like a workout class. About 30 fed-up, fit people took over a sidewalk outside a Clearwater, Florida court to protest COVID-19 gym closures, and an overhead chopper captured the crazy scene. That's right. You can see the footage. You can see people screaming at local authorities to reconsider their ban on in-gym workouts, all while they hit the deck to do some push-ups and squats. Some of the protesters also held American flags and signs, but it should be noted they weren't face covering or adherence to 6 feet apart social distancing guidelines for most of the group. There you go. So let's protest. Let's be all bunched up against each other. Let's do push-ups, sit-ups. Let's breathe heavy and spread it all over. Yeah.
Would this be wrong for me to say, whenever we have any of these groups that are going to go do whatever and not wear the proper attire or proper distancing and have a van show up with people that have that are asymptomatic and have COVID and have them just go walk through the crowd? That's bad, right?
Yes.
Sorry, everybody.
Yes.
I'm just saying, like, you want to be an idiot? I'll show you what happens to idiots.
Yeah. No, that would be really bad on your part to do something like that.
It was a joke.
Yeah, that would not be nice, Bill. Okay? That would not be nice. There we go. I needed some Viagra for this thing because it was getting limp again. So we got the Viagra.
Is that little statue that heavy, man?
Yeah, well, any weight on it starts putting, because this thing is heavy enough as it is, the mic flag, as it is, and you have a mic.
Gotcha.
So it's all right. So now you're adding.
And also the mic's heaviest weight is out on the tip, on the end. It's almost like a crane beam, the beam, you know?
Right. Yeah. So you're putting more weight on it, and so there you go. So we need a little more Viagra, kind of like Rafael Palmeiro. Rafael Palmeiro was that guy that, he pointed his finger at Congress. I never took any steroids, and then they busted him with steroids. But the problem with Rafael Palmeiro always was he also did Viagra commercials. So you really look at it, Rafael Palmeiro needed help with his bat in every part of his life. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. Now, for those of us that go to concerts, and we love concerts, and I don't know when we're going to go back, I was reading this article now, and it was talking about concert goers who will resume going to concerts back this month, okay, because there might be one or two somewhere in the country. The uncertainty for live music mirrors the more general hesitancy surrounding reopening as mayors nationwide try to decipher the best plans for their states to reopen. By Billboard, bars in Kansas are primed to open at half capacity on May 18th. Live shows in Branson, Missouri are due to start up again. All of that, right? So, a safety group put together a guideline consulting with over 400 different concert promoters, venue owners, and managers, and more. By late March, the coronavirus pandemic has essentially halted all scheduled concert tours and the moratorium from big names like Live Nation and AEG. So, These are the recommended guidelines, okay? Look what's going to happen to you now when you go to concerts. Hand washing every hour, as well as sneezing, mopping, smoking, eating, drinking, and other selective activities. Required masks, sanitizing door handles, sink faucets, soap dispensers, elevator buttons, phones, water fountains, vending machines, trash bins, and computers, among many other things. Staggered lines into venues so patrons don't have to cluster in lines. Temperature screening for every customer. So they're going to have that thing that you walk under and it'll tell you the temperature. Clear protective shields for will call and box office windows. That's already there as it is most of the time. Employers must provide paid sick leave. When employees can't stay 6 feet away from others, they should form work teams in which people routinely work together, but they keep their distance from everyone else. Educate fans, in a word, everywhere, including mobile apps, ticket-selling sites, and social media. So these are the things that you can expect when they reopen concerts again, and you've got to go.
This is like post 9/11, man. Our world is never going to be the same.
Yeah. Are they going to make masks for smoking? What happens to the dude or the woman that wants to smoke during the concert? Huh? Are they going to make?
Are we talking cigarettes or?
No, of course we're not talking cigarettes. That's illegal. You don't smoke cigarettes in a concert. What's wrong with you?
Right, that would be blasphemous.
Wrong, dude. Come on, it's weed. Weed you smoke at concerts. That way you share secondhand smoke and COVID with everybody else.
And if you're at a Disturbed concert, the guy actually stops and says, "Man, that stuff smells great."
Yeah, and you're smelling it and you're taking in the COVID. Because think about it. As you're shooting out that smoke, you're shooting out COVID all over the place. So now we all look at somebody like fish-eyed when they sneeze, right? Somebody sneezes or coughs. Hey. Near you, right? You're like freaking out, right? So what do you do now with the dude or the woman that's like four seats away from you and they're smoking up? What's going to happen then? Are they going to make masks where you can exhale and inhale, that you have like a hole somewhere? You're going to be lifting it up? I mean,
you're planting seeds. People have ideas out there now.
Because I know it's coming, bro. I know it's coming.
Hey, you do what you got to do, man.
Right.
You know what? Maybe you could have the overflap, like, our underwear in the front, your little fold.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Something. Drewbo says, I like thick girls. Nothing wrong with a thick girl, baby. Thick girls are fine with me. Give me some curves, and I'm good. Damian Deese is joining us. Mike Garafolo is reporting Jets and Finns bidding for Logan Ryan. Okay. Palmaro needs to pump up multiple muscles. I don't know what that means. Nothing worse than a foam bat. You can lose a lot of weight smoking crack. That's good nuggets right there, bro. That's good nuggets. Let's pick up the crack pipe. I'm with you there. So use a mask as a filter. Suck it up, Buttercup. There you go. I got no problem with that. Appreciate all of you, by the way, as always, chiming in on the show here. Let's see what we got on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, because that is usually busy. Henry Rollins is way cooler than Grohl. Iggy Pop, way cooler than Grohl. Grohl is fake, always has the right answer, always says the right political statement. Grohl is a politician BSer. I disagree with you, my man. I think Dave Grohl is awesome. I think you're just not a Dave Grohl fan, probably. That's all. Big O, what are your thoughts on Animal Iron Mike Tyson making a possible comeback? He's old, but damn, he still looks like he moves like a possessed beast. Mike Collazo. Well, there's a lot of bottled up frustration for Mike Tyson, So that'll be bad for whoever is facing him. But you do have to remember that Mike Tyson down the stretch of his career, he was getting pummeled. They figured him out. Box him, and you're done. That's it. Holyfield exposed him in that sense. Okay? Let's see. Hey, random question. Could you see yourself running your own station, and how would you handle a big O personality? No disrespect. You mean somebody that can that connects with people, they have an audience, and they have sponsors? I would actually welcome 8 people like me. You mean people like me that never miss work, that are extremely dedicated to their jobs, and they're tireless workers? Yeah, no, I would love to have people like me. I would love to be surrounded. What I don't want to be surrounded with is idiots. And so, no, I don't see myself running a radio station per se, but I am running a station in a way because I'm going to do it for Inter Miami. Okay, and we're going to have, it's going to be a sports station, but it's going to be a soccer sports station that we're creating with Inter Miami. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So I am doing that, but I'm doing it with Inter Miami. I'm doing it with Jorge Mas, who is obviously a man that is going to provide the resources that we need in order to succeed and all of that. So yeah, I don't see myself working in terrestrial radio again, unless maybe I do rock as a rock DJ or something like that. I can do that, but I'm kind of tired of terrestrial radio, man. I really am. It's just the politics of it. I don't even know how you guys as listeners are, you still feed those people. It's just, they crap all over listeners, and it's a terrible product, man. Myron Sanchez once again. Myron, I think this is your 3rd trip through the super chat today. I think that's a record. I don't think anybody has ever done 3 trips in the super chat in one day. Myron Sanchez has done 3 straight trips to the super chat. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Oh, who is better, Depeche Mode or The Cure? The Cure. I'm going The Cure. What? That's Myron's asking me who's better, Depeche Mode or The Cure, and I go The Cure. Now, I would think a lot of people would pick Depeche Mode. A lot of people. I'm going to pick The Cure, but
I'll say it this way. Having seen both of them, what The Cure is at 5, I think, for me, and Depeche is at about the same. They're both awesome. It's amazing. The only thing is The Cure gives you a longer, more connect with the show. And
way better concert.
And it's not the cookie close. If you go to, if they're in your town and doing 2 shows, they're going to give you a variety of songs.
And 30 songs.
Depeche may give you
15.
The same. No, they're going to give you probably the same show.
Oh, no, yeah, the same show the second night. Yes. And
you're not going to get any variants on song list.
You're not even going to get to 20.
Probably not.
No, you'll get like 15, 18 songs.
Now, that's not to take away.
And you'll get like 6 old ones, 7 old ones. So, yeah, live is not, it's not even a discussion live.
Yeah. But Depeche is still great. They sound amazing, and they do a great job.
And they're fantastic live, but they're nothing like The Cure live. So I would go with The Cure by miles.
The Cure is one of the rare bands that gives for their fans.
I saw them back-to-back nights at Bayfront, and Myron, they did 57 different songs in 2 nights. It's pretty awesome. They did like 30-something songs each night.
Here, I'll go back to 92.
Nobody does that. Only Pearl Jam's the only other band that does that.
I'll go back to 92 Wish Tour at the old Miami Arena. And they had the first night that went on sale, and that was, of course, all the Cure fans, and it sold out. Bam. The second night was an add-on. I got tickets for both, but they put the second night in front of the actually first sold one. The only thing that they were cheering for was Fascination Street.
Oh, yeah.
And that stuff, okay? None of the old. He did like an hour and 52-hour show. The next night, we had the Killers, 20th row or 15th, whatever we had. They did what was it, 2 hours and 45?
Yeah.
And if you remember, the last 8 songs weren't even any part of any set. They would get together in front of the drum set and like, hey, we're going to do this song. Go back out to their instruments and at random. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing. Absolutely incredible.
Yep.
And they give to their fans. If you're a real fan and they feel the crowd, the Cure's there for you.
Somebody that sent me a text now on the accidentlawfirm.com text line says, the next great coach, love this pick. I didn't see the pick, man. It doesn't come out on the text machine. If you want to send me a picture or anything else, email it to me, orlando@bigoradioshow.com. Okay? Big O, Bill, when you can catch The Cure live in Australia for the Disintegration album, they did it from beginning to end, really awesome. Yeah, I've seen it.
We actually saw that, right?
Yeah, I saw it live too. Do you believe Steph Curry is actually a top 15 basketball player of all time? ESPN ranked him 13th. Like, wow, that just seems way too high. Oh man, we're kind of prisoners of the moment. Look, man, top 15, he definitely is one of the top 15, maybe the greatest shooter of all time. But top 15 basketball player of all time, I probably won't put him there. Depeche Mode gives me goosebumps. The Cure, not so much. I can see where a lot of people would pick Depeche Mode, man. I got no problem with that. I understand. I'm more of a Cure guy out of the two. Love them both, but The Cure does a longer show. Yes, by miles. Not even close. Richard says, I'm with you, Big O. Show all the way. I love listening every day. Too bad I have to go to work soon. Don't go to work, Richard. You don't have to go to work. NorCal says,
Rich, we got you covered, man. We got to podcast it.
NorCal says, Big O, if you had your own station, I'd listen all day because I know you demand honest hosts. Yes, there's no doubt I would not. I could not do the BS crap that they do in radio stations nowadays. There's no way I would ever do that. So there you go. Big O, Packers under 9 wins is very appealing. Interesting. I don't know about that one. Not sure about Packers under 9, only because their team was pretty good last year, man. You know,
coming from my bear, dude. Don't bet against Aaron Rodgers.
No, I'm just saying it's 9 wins. It's that one's pretty close, man. That one I wouldn't be surprised if they do get to the 9 wins. That I think is very, very possible. 21 Pilots, by the way, any of you out there like 21 Pilots, they are going to have a new album very soon because of the coronavirus. They were supposed to be touring. So now the lead singer, Tyler Joseph, says that you could be hearing a follow-up to 2018's Trench sooner than they expected. Josh Dunn, the drummer, said because of the extra time under lockdown, it has provided them time to actually work in the studio. He says, I'm writing a record right now. I'm not sure when it will be released, but it's definitely going to be really sooner than we were planning on releasing a record. Pondering if it will follow up Trench's storyline or go in a completely different direction. The frontman continues, I don't know if this is an in-between record or if it's a continuation of the narrative and where we left off. It's kind of hard for me to tap into that story of Trench and what we've been building up on until that point without being out there, without touring, without having those live shows, without interacting with our fans. So that's cool. I'm glad that 21 Pilots is going to come up with a new album. I'm a 21 Pilots fan. I think this guy, what's it called? Tyler Joseph is freaking talented as hell, man. And they put on, and considering it's 2 guys, they put on a monster show. Give them a lot of props, man, because when you go to a 21 Pilots concert, if you've never been to one and you know their music, okay, you're kind of expecting a good concert musically. But then when they sprinkle in the show that they put and the different stages that they have and the bridge and everything that they have connecting to the different stages, I got to tell you, they do an awesome job. They do a really, really good job. It's definitely one of the best stage shows on tour, period. It's one of the better stage shows I've ever seen. And I've been to over 1,000 concerts. So I've seen quite a few stage shows. 21 Pilots is awesome, man. They do a great job. Just think how great the Big O Show will be when sports cranks up. You start at 5 p.m. then for people working. I'm looking forward to it, man. Great radio station in North Carolina, Rock 92.3. They also have a free app. Best morning show ever. Two guys named Chris, 6 a.m. weekdays. Just saying. I will check it out. Rock 92.3. I'll download the app. All right? Thank you for the heads up on that, King Short. I appreciate that, man. There aren't enough great rock stations. So if I can, that's the beauty of today's world, man. There's a station called Mountain, I think it's called. It's in Colorado. Let me give it to you here, so that way I don't mislead you guys. I really enjoy that station. And the Mountain, 99.5 is the Mountain. In fact, let me see what they got. Fly Like an Eagle on right now. Yeah. Into the future. There you go. See? Went to it right away, and there was a great song on. The Mountain 99.5. Download that one. I enjoy that one, so I'm glad you told me about that. And those of you, by the way, that live, in different parts of the country, if you happen to know a really good rock station, send it in, man, because you can listen to any station now in the world because everybody has an app. So the Mountain is one of those that when I'm showering or I'm hanging out or I'm in the car, I'll put on the Mountain sometimes just to listen because they do a great job.
Not just rock on that, alternative.
Yeah.
Classic, good alternative as well.
Yeah. I like the rock. The Mountain. It's a really, really good station. So there you go. I shared one with you guys. How about that? Myron Sanchez. So Myron, I see what you're doing. You're posting a record that nobody will ever beat because now you have chimed in on Super Chat 4 times today. Thank you, Myron. Dude, that is just amazing. Oh, last one. Which album is better, Dark Side or The Wall? My favorite classic rock album from the Floyd. All right. Wow, man. I'm going to go Dark Side of the Moon. The Wall is a masterpiece. They're both masterpieces. It's like picking between your children. Seriously, that's what those two albums are, picking between your children. But I'm just going to go and by a hair because you got to force me to pick one. I'm going to pick Dark Side of the Moon.
The better call is 1A, 1B. A dead heat, 1A, 1B.
Right.
I've seen the Wall.
You can pick the Wall, but you can pick the Wall because it's more music.
Well, I've seen the Wall about 150 times.
I know.
I've owned it on VHS, DVD. I bought the big
I have
all
it.
that.
I have it on DVD.
And straight up, I am just a new boy, stranger in this town.
Forget it.
The jams in the Wall, but
if you were going to be on an island, you probably take the Wall because it's 2 albums. You know what I mean? So that's probably why. And I got to tell you, Myron, I think a lot of people will look at it the same way I do. They're both equal pretty much because they're such historic albums. But I bet you a lot of people will pick The Wall because it's 2 albums. And it's loaded, by the way. It's not just 2 albums. It's 2 albums of loaded music.
Man, Run, Young Lust.
Oh, forget it. It just goes
Vera,
on.
Bring the Boys Back.
Everything. So I would go Dark Side of the Moon. Okay? By a hair. Again, it's like asking a parent to pick between their kids. And you're like, come on, man, I can't do that. That kind of stuff. It's torturous. Myron, you picked it's okay, Myron, I know you're a U2 fan. It's War and Unforgettable Fire. right? Because we can.
Wait, you forgot Joshua Tree, man.
But I could argue that.
know?
You know what? I'd pick War and Unforgettable Fire ahead of Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
Okay, I would. In a heartbeat. There's no thinking about it. Now, my decision between War and Unforgettable Fire, that's like this one. That's like that decision of Dark Side and the Wall. It's the same thing. Joshua, awesome album, don't get me wrong. Okay? But it's a hair under those two. For me, U2's elite albums are War and Unforgettable Fire. Those are, so that would be which one?
Excuse my blank
Myron
out.
says his favorite album is Animals.
Excuse my blank out.
Which is an awesome album, too.
Sunday Bloody Sunday. Is
it's
that
War.
the one that's got
It's War.
What's the one that's got the live with 11 o'clock TikTok?
Oh, that's
40
that's
and all that.
That's under a Blood Red Sky.
Under a Blood Red Sky.
But that's a
Thank you.
live album.
Yeah, but 11 o'clock TikTok's not on any other.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's on the. Isn't it on Boy?
Is
It's
it?
on Boy. Yeah, that's on Boy. It's the original.
That album.
No,
Under a Blood Red Sky.
Boy and October are amazing
40,
albums.
Gloria, all those live, man.
Yeah, but I would slightly lean. Pat in Nashville goes Octane Baby all the way. Myron also says Octane Baby all the way. There you go. There you go.
We got to see that opening
Lakeland
concert
Yep.
tour, and that was so cool. The way we just decided, hey, we're leaving South Beach and we're going to drive to Lakeland.
Yes. Welcome to the Machine, the greatest song by Pink Floyd, in my opinion. It is a great song. Oh, have you been to a Pink Floyd concert? Yes, Alexa, I've been to a couple of Pink Floyd concerts. And I have a funny story in a Pink Floyd concert. Back in I want to say it's late 80s, we were at the Orange Bowl for the concert, and it was pouring. I mean, pouring. It was one of those where it was, puddles and lakes all over the streets, that kind of pouring. The entire show, Alexa. Okay? So my buddy was dying to smoke. Okay? He was a smoker, so he had to have a joint during a concert. And the funniest thing in the world, because I think he had like 3 or 4 with him, and he could not light up a joint because it was pouring so bad. And he had a raincoat and everything, but it was coming in sideways and the wind and all that. And he would try to light it up, and it just exploded on him because it would get wet, whatever, and you couldn't. He was so pissed, right? So we have tickets to Pink Floyd the next day in Tampa. So we drive up to Tampa. And he's telling me about how, all right, that's it. I'm going to be able to enjoy my joint and a Pink Floyd concert tonight. Sure enough, the storm follows us from South Florida to Tampa the next day. We walk in, and the deluge starts, and he looks at me, and he's pissed the whole show. Because he rolled up a bunch of them again. And he couldn't. This time he didn't bother lighting up, trying to light up the second and the third one and it coming apart on him. This time, after the first one, he goes, I'm not doing this again and throwing away all this weed. And so he just didn't. He kind of gave up. But that's the one thing I'll never forget. Great concerts, but we were standing, and anybody knows that went to those concerts, they know what I'm talking about. It was non-freaking stop. One of those that it did not stop raining hard, bro.
I'm willing to bet that
Hard.
tour was during the summertime.
Oh, yeah.
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 Well,
Summertime.
That's,
Summertime. And we had both shows, excellent shows, but my Lord, you were just drenched after those concerts. It was brutal. Big O, how about Hounds of Hell? What is Hounds of Hell, my brother? I don't know what that is, Daniel Gallegos. Is that a band? Alexa V says, me too, laughing my ass out loud. It smelled amazing in that arena. Roger Waters' tour on hold from COVID. Well, I don't go to Roger Waters concerts anymore. Once I found out he was an anti-Semite, I will have no. I cannot support anybody like that. So I'll go see Gilmore. That I will, but I will not see Roger Waters. In fact, I had tickets the last time Roger Waters came to town, and I gave them away. So I can't ever go to a Roger Waters concert ever again, knowing what I know about him now, about what he is. So that I can't do. But Gilmore, I can't wait till he tours again and he comes to the States. Now, if he does, a warning, it'll only be a couple of dates. So, and it won't be here in South Florida. You will have to travel. So if you see Gilmore after COVID's done and he comes out for a couple of dates, take advantage because I don't know when it's going to end. And let me tell you something. David Gilmour live is freaking awesome. Alex Toledo goes, that's why you hate Mel Gibson too, right? Yes, I do. Yep. I don't watch Mel Gibson either anymore. After that incident with Mel Gibson, I no longer watch Mel Gibson movies either. I won't support Mel Gibson either. Can't do it, bro. I just can't support anybody who spews hate in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? I just can't. So yeah, I'm not a Mel Gibson guy. I guess you've heard me talk about that in the past, Alex. You brought it up. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. Daniel, you still didn't tell me what Hounds of Hell is. Okay? You got to tell me what the hell that is. Oh, have you been to a... no. Let's see. When Bon Jovi was still great, it's hard to pick between New Jersey and Slippery When Wet. Those are two great albums. I probably still will go with Slippery When Wet. Although I got to tell you, his debut, the first album by Bon Jovi with Runaway and Shot Through the Heart and all
when
that.
We saw them our first time?
Yeah, Scorpions.
They opened up. I think we were like 8th row, 9th row.
Yeah, it was at the Sporto.
With Rich.
Yes, it was at the Sporto. I remember that.
That was amazing because Runaway had just kind of hit the scene on MTV.
Yeah. No, I got you. So there you go. All right. Hate is ugly. Yes, it is. It's disgusting. It's something that's not part of my life. I can't do that. That's just not who I am and how I'm wired and how I've raised our daughter. Can't be that kind of person, man. Can't be that kind of person. Rather treat everybody the same and everybody equal. We got to thank a bunch of people here today. First of all, on the Super Chat, Myron Sanchez with a record 4 trips to the Super Chat, which, thank you, Myron. I mean, listen, Myron, the support that you've given our show for, I don't know, dude, you've been listening maybe more than 15 years or something like that. So, Myron, thank you so much, as always, for listening to us.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, definitely. You
feel knocked out of your seat, man? Like knocked on your ass there by Myron?
Yeah, but Myron is amazing. I'm trying to look at my bookshelf and see if
You're looking for the book,
let me see
right?
Let me see if I have Myron's book there. Hold on.
Give O a minute. He's looking for more of his goodies. And this is actually one from Myron. You're not on a search and destroy mission, are you, over there? No. Okay. Uh-oh. It's downstairs. Do you want to go run downstairs? No? No. Well, you know what? Look.
Go downstairs would be a pain in the ass.
Hey, the next 3 days, we are on field trips. We start our field trip run. So Monday.
I thought I had it there.
Monday, we'll be back in the studio. Next Monday.
I have your book, Myron. 1001 Movies to Watch Before You Die. He gave me that book years ago, and I still have that book. I have everything that people give me. I always keep it as a memory of connecting with people. So, Myron, thank you, sir. Appreciate you on the Super Chat, as always. John Rouse is in the house. Cody Douglas, of course. chiming in, Alexa V, William Fonticella, Ricky Perez, Cody Douglas. So many of you chiming in on the Super Chat, and we appreciate you all out there for helping us out on the Super Chat.
I wonder if that Ricky Perez is the one I went to Pace High School with.
Maybe is that the guy you exchanged with the last time?
No, the guy that had said, "Hey, did you go to Pace, ninth grade?" Blah blah blah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say,
maybe.
I want to say I think we had homeroom and science class together, but same lunches. You know, Ricky was always. We were always running in the same group.
All right. So anyway, I appreciate all of you out there as always for chiming in and supporting us in a big time way in the Super Chat. Of course, for watching, downloading, listening, sharing. By the way, share, subscribe. As always, we appreciate all of that. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you to Bill and Philippe as always.
Modified time.
Yes, much love out there. Mucho amor for everybody out there.
Modified time. 12 o'clock start tomorrow,
Yes, tomorrow.
folks.
Yes, tomorrow's 12 to 3 instead of 11 to 2 because when we go to VSS West Pines, we start at noon. So tomorrow we alter it a little bit 1 hour later, and then 1 hour later
Come
we'll
on and
stay
say
on.
hi. Those guys are awesome, man.
Yes.
It's really fun.
Yeah,
It's-
tomorrow, Pembroke Pines. Come on out. 12397 Pembroke Road, VSSWestPines.com. 12397 Pembroke Road. We'll see you tomorrow. You all be safe out there, all right? Be good.
Have a good night. We'll catch you tomorrow.